When I think about the moments where your energy shifts and the jealousy that you display, the anger, that is a toxic love that I can't have in my life. I'm really happy he's not choosing
me. Hey guys, welcome to Little Black Bird 91. Listen, we're going to get into the super panel in about an hour or so. They're going to come on. But let me just say this, but honestly, I mean, be real with y'all. What the heck is happening? What the heck is happening? I mean, shoot. There was all sorts of madness happening on this particular episode. I don't even know where to start. Where do I start from? Do I start with the Chaz and the Vanessa situation? Do I start with the situation between Laron and Maya? Do I start with the fact that Justin and Mika probably the only sensible couple on this season now? do I start with the fact that Chaz's brother, who's part of military, is part of intelligence? Let me not say too much. I don't want him hacking my laptop. So I want to be able to have my laptop and have my YouTube. So I don't want beef with Chaz's brother. But, you know, Chaz and Patricia, Patricia ended up choosing Alonzo, but was still playing around with freaking Chaz the whole entire time. I don't know if they sent her on a mission because they needed to have some drama at the end of the show. Like, all right, listen. Welcome to Little Black Book. You know what time it is. Listen, we're going to get into this show because I'm going to tell you this now. It's crazy. Look, for those of you who have joined the membership, shout out to you guys. Thank you, Italiana. My English is failing me there. Shout out to Halalumanitha. You know I can't do names. I'm sorry. Brianna, shout out to you. I love the picture as well. Looks like you graduated. Shout out to you. And Shahjar, shout out to you guys. You know I'm gonna murder a name. I apologize, guys. I am the person to murder a name. I do apologize. But you know me, forgive, and the Lord will bless you as well. Okay, but let me play a little song for those who are new members. Boom. Listen, in a few minutes, it will go to members only. But I'll probably give it about 15 minutes or so. So in about 15 minutes, it's going to go members only, okay? So if you're not a member, I advise you to become one. It's £1 a dollar, and become part of the great team that just gets to enjoy these great lives. Like I said, the super panel will be in about an hour's time and they'll be coming on. But we're going to talk about the rest of the show because, baby, what the frick was going on this? We're going to break it all the way down with different parts, because I just feel like there's a lot to discuss as well in this show. Okay, so let's start off first and foremost with a bang. But let's talk Justin and Mika first. Let's get them out of the way and then we'll start with the craziness after. And let me put this little banner here so you guys got it. Fantastic. All right. Justin and Mika, let's start with them first and foremost. Because, baby, you know, there was a lot going on this episode. I found it quite interesting, right? So let's put this play here.
There she is. I don't think my brother's used to seeing something so beautiful. He was in shock. Mika does that. She has that jaw-dropping effect on guys. Yeah, somebody looking.
Bada bing, bada bam, ba bam. Listen, Mika ain't no joke. Let me tell you the truth of that. Mika ain't no joke. She's a bad D. All right, cool. Can we keep it a buck? Can we keep it true? Can we keep it really honest? Can we keep it all the way through? I think with Justin and Mika, what I really see, I actually like them. I think they're pretty cool. We haven't seen much of them. I think they're pretty cool. I think, you know, they are moving along quite nicely and they seem to be the only sensible couple from this show. Can we just be honest with that? The only sensible couple. Now, what is really opening my eyes is something that Seaway said a couple of weeks ago, and some people were crucifying her, and some women were crucifying her, and I have to stand up for Seaway a little bit here. Seaway said a couple of weeks ago that when it comes to Mika, that one of the things that is interesting is that she didn't want to have kids, right? But for the right person. And I remember Seaway talking about this, and some people did give her a little bit of stick. And I actually agreed with her, but as a man, you can't say this because then you sound misogynistic. So, like, you don't want women to have the choice, and it's not that. But a lot of times, like, look how quickly she was willing to have change her mind on kids now. Now, it's not an indictment against her. It's just the reality of life, of watching how when people end up seeing people in a different way, they see them and they change their minds, right? They change their minds because, let me tell you something. I think she thinks Justin is chef's kiss. I think she thinks that, right? I think she thinks Justin is chef's kiss. So in that reality, if she thinks Justin is chef's kiss, then she's willing to make those changes potentially for them to have kids, because that's one of the major things. I think even though I even watched on, you know, we've been watching the whole season, and the conversation has been around her and kids. Let me just turn the light down a little bit because it's a bit bright, right? It's her and kids. So suddenly all that change, I don't know what would cause that change. Right? So the reality of the situation, I love that quote someone said here, women will make exceptions for men they think are exceptional. I love that. That is a beautiful term. Women make exceptions for men they think is exceptional. It also reminded me of something that my dad had told me. And he said, listen, when you have a law, when you meet the right person, they supersede the law. It's like when you have a rule, the right person, sometimes even the wrong person, can supersede that rule. So you can be thinking about something and you can be on something, but you supersede the rule, right? You get what I'm saying to you? So in this instance, what you'll see with Mika and what you'll see with Justin is that rule that she suddenly had, she's overriding it. Okay? She's overriding it. And she's changing it. Do you know what I'm saying to you? She's changed it because of how she feels about this gentleman. Now, whether that's right or whether that's wrong, I mean, that only time will tell in that particular relationship. But you know, I would say that you know, that they look cool and I like them. Now, my only instance that I have a little bit of is where I would say is that when he said about the reason why his last relationship broke up was because of time, I was like, yo. I said, I remember I told you 4 to 6 hours, I bet it's not, because 4 to 6 hours is not, I bet you it's not 4 to 6 hours. When somebody says, I really need time and space, I'm telling you that when they start that way, it's more than likely going to get worse. Like, look, when I used to say I wanted time, the reason why I would say I want time and space is because I was an avoidant person. I can't deal with you in my space too much. But the law of that avoidancy was superseded when I met somebody that I actually really liked spending time with. Do you get me? The law of that was superseded. And so when you start realizing that, when you start looking at certain things where you're seeing and you're going, okay, hold on a minute. Wait a minute now. You want 4 to 6 hours, it's more than likely going to be longer than that. Your last relationship broke up because you needed that space. More than likely it's going to happen again later in a relationship. That's going to become an issue. And I'm not saying they can't work out. What I'm saying is he may need to supersede that law, that rule that he has, in order for this to work. Yeah? And so it's interesting to see, and that's another great point, all in productions, that people do make exceptions for the people that they feel they like. And that's why I said sometimes as men, can I be honest with you? Sometimes as men, we don't like the woman that we're actually with. And a lot of times we might get with somebody or even marry them because we like their body. For instance, they're very attractive, they're sexy, they're good looking. And so we're not willing to compromise on certain things that need to shift and need to change. Now, I'm not saying, I mean, hear me out. I'm not saying that you don't need time and space in a relationship. I agree, you should. I'm an individual. I like my time. But to think that you're going to get 4 to 6 hours of no messaging, unless again you're at work and you can't get your phone, which is now enforced 4 to 6 hours. You wouldn't mention that if you're enforced. You'd say, listen, hey, my work, I can't have my phone about work. But you know what? When I finish work, I don't mind messaging you. The fact you have to mention it tells me that it's something that you do regularly. And he told us he needs space. So if that's the case, I'm going to tell you something that's probably going to continue. Do you see what I'm saying to you? That's going to probably continue. And it's probably going to get worse. Right? That's my own perspective. That's my own perspective. And listen, I'm not law, and I'm not the only truth. I'm only giving my perspective and my truth. So it is not a guarantee what I'm saying is exactly the truth. It may not be. You know what I'm saying to you? I'm just coming from my perspective, my angle as an individual person, that when I look at relationships and you are telling the person 4 to 6 hours already, and your last relationship broke up because of that space, and that's what I'm telling you. I'm telling you to read between the lines. Now, of course, it might be edited, so we have to look at it from that perspective. It might be edited. So there may be some things that were taken out. But when he said 4 to 6 hours, I'm assuming now that you mean outside of your work. Do you get what I'm saying to you? Do you see what I'm saying to you? I'm assuming you mean that outside of work because you wouldn't have to mention it if it was in work. That's why I'm drilling on that point and making you very much aware that, let me be real with you, when I like you and I like spending time with you, I want to hear from you. Now, of course, as a relationship gets more what we call reaching a plateau, when we reach a certain plateau, when we reach a certain level, right? When we reach a certain level, we feel okay to have a bit more time to ourselves. But when you're in the beginning of a relationship, you need to be spending time. You're building your pillars of foundation of that relationship. That's the only reason I'm harking on this again once more. In the beginning of a relationship, you are excited. You're driven. There's something called limerence, almost. It's limerence, where the initial stages of that infatuation drives you guys together. And it's really important because what it does is it allows you to build important foundations of events. You going, doing certain things together, so that you've built a foundation of spending time together, learning about each other, and being interested in one another. Without that, your kind of foundation's a little bit shaky because you haven't really got that there. And then you got to start later on, which is much more harder. That's why when you're in the beginning of a relationship, it feels like a whirlwind. It's because the limerence has to kick in so that you are drawn to that person. You feel what I'm saying to you? Right? 4 to 6 hours is a lot of time. I don't think he's full of it. I think there's something deeper that he may not be revealing. I don't think he's full of it at all. I don't think he's full of it. I think that there's something deeper that he might be revealing. He's very present now, but it's given, I'm going to be avoidant. Okay? He's very present now, but it's given, I'm going to be avoidant. It's given that kind of energy. And I may be wrong. But the way that Mika is looking at it, I can see that she wants to care for him, you know what I mean? And when I see that care for him, either you're kind of a secure attachment, or potentially you might even be an avoidant attachment, which means that could be a situation where there's a cycle of chasing him in order to make yourself feel like the avoidant and the anxious person always get into a cycle, and the cycle that they get into is, I'm going to chase you every time you separate from me. So if he takes 4 to 6 hours to reply to you, you're going to apply more pressure because what you want to do is make sure that he's not abandoning you. And when you get him, you draw him back in. But once you get him and you draw him back in, he starts to feel overwhelmed again. He goes back out again. And it becomes a cycle of you chasing the person throughout. Now, I'm not saying this necessarily actually is. We don't know 100%. They haven't shown us enough on the show. I am going based on the fact that he said 4 to 6 hours that he needed, and that his past relationship also ended because he needed space. Okay? So I don't think that they're doomed. I think it's something they need to pay attention to. Now, what was interesting was at the very end, that when he said, "Oh, I love you," and she was like, "Wait, hold on." She was like, You know what I'm saying to you? She was like, "I don't want to say I love you too." And I wondered if she didn't want to say it, not because she didn't want to boost his ego, but wondering because for her, she felt like maybe there's a little bit of distance, or she felt like not saying it too quickly. She doesn't want to fall too quickly. You know what I mean? So I don't know. We're gonna have to wait and see how that's gonna play out. I don't know how that will play out and effectively. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Yeah. So, all right, cool. We'll leave them because I think that was it. I mean, I'm glad they chose each other at the bridge. I think they actually have some potential here. I think if they work out some of those kinks, there's a potential here. This is not a done deal. This is not a situation where they're not gonna work together. This is not a situation they're gonna break up. This is not a done deal. I feel like there's some room to improve and there's ways to go forward. I really feel like that. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I really feel like that. Yeah. So, okay, yeah, he said he feels like love. Apologies, yes. Yeah, sorry, apologies, yes. He said he feels like it's love. Yeah. So, I mean, I think there's a chance there. I think what was interesting, can I be honest? Oh, last point. Can I say this? I don't want to make a heavy judgment. I want to be fair, but I want to be critical. I want to be aware. I want to be cautious. So hear me out on this point. I want to be cautious, and I'm going to tell you why I'm going to be cautious. I'm going to be cautious because at the room when his boy came through, okay, when it got to here, I think I could go slightly back. Let me see. I think it was one about here. Let's see.
I'm inviting Mika to meet my brother Jay. It's a true deal.
I feel like there's a strong connection, but I'm not sure.
You just want me to read it?
Yeah, and when you see it now, you better see some hams. Birmingham, 2 hams.
Okay, so I don't know if this is them being cheeky. I don't know if the edit is doing them dirty. I don't know if I don't know if they didn't put on the full scope of the conversation, and they might be doing them dirty. But the fact that they highlighted his comment about you gonna see some hams and not about how great she is. And look, I mean, later on in the conversation, it might have been, do you know what I mean? It was given, we are infatuated. Do you know what I'm saying to you? You know what I mean? Like, if the comment was more about the infatuation, not necessarily the inequalities, I'm just looking at it and we're in a bit of aware about that. Do you know what I mean? I'm not saying it's definite 100%. I'm not saying it's over. I'm just saying the fact that he mentioned about the yams. Let me get to the yams. Sweet, sweet yams. You know what I mean? Like, when you mention that comment, I'm just being a little bit careful. I'm not saying it's definite because it might have been edited. He might have said some more. But the fact that they didn't show any more might be an indication that there might be an over focus on how good she looks. And let me tell you something, Mika looked good. No, I can't lie to you. I went onto her Instagram yesterday and I said, damn. Like, I saw Mika, but when I saw, let me get to the yams. Sweet, sweet yams. When I get to the yams. I said, when I saw the Instagram, I said, this girl really be working out. Body's on point. I was like, all right, cool. So I understand why. I understand, but I'm a person now that, don't get it twisted, I can see the beauty in women, but I'm saying that when I'm talking to my boy about why I like somebody, I'm more focused on the fact that, bro, her inequalities are this, and this. Like, if I like you and I tell somebody, I'm telling them at my stage now, at 32, I'm telling you now that I'm not going to be talking about, let me get to the yams. Sweet, sweet yams. Like, I'm not gonna tell my boy that. Do you know what I'm saying to you? I want to more talk about, hey, bro, listen, let me tell you this now. Yes, she's beautiful. I want to tell you this now, but her inequalities, bro, she's kind, she's loving, she's this and that. And I think he did say something. I'm just not 100% sure. They might just, you know what I mean? So I'm just being very careful of that. And also, as well, avoidance are very well known for kind of liking physicality, you know, because again, they don't connect very well emotionally. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So avoidance are very much physical attraction and sexual attraction because they don't do well connecting physically. So that's why I'm also looking at it very carefully with Justin. I'm going, let me get to the yams, sweet, sweet yams. You know what I'm saying to you? So I'm not saying that we're not going to talk about it. What I'm saying is, okay, is that in that immediate moment, that's the only thing that gave me pause. I'm not saying that he definitely isn't. Okay, I'm not saying it's not definitely. I'm just saying that it just made me think about it. Okay. All right, cool. We're gonna go into the next one now. We're gonna leave Justin and Anthony alone. We're gonna get to Alonzo and Patrice. I know you want to get to Chaz and that. Listen, we're gonna get there. We gonna get there. Okay, we gonna get there. We gonna get there. Chaz plus Patrice. Okay. All right. Let me take it there. Okay. No. I'm not saying. Okay. Let me make it clear. I'm not saying that you don't mention the physical. That's not what I'm talking about. As a man, we mention the physical. What I'm saying is that because I didn't get to hear, maybe he said it on the bridge, so that's why. Because I didn't really get to hear that in the immediate moment with his boy, I was a little bit concerned. Not that it's not a red flag per se. It's just I'm a little bit concerned because when you're talking to your boy, the difference between the boys and the men is what they say to their boys. When I'm talking to my boy and I'm serious about relationship and I'm serious about love and I'm serious about marriage, when I talk to my boy about a situation, I'm not talking about the yams. But like I said, that was just that clip. He may have said some other things previously that I missed, but I was just a little bit paused for concern because he was talking to his boy there and they highlighted that. So that's all. That's all I'm trying to say to you. I'm not saying, you know what I mean? So, I'm being very cautious about that. Do you know what I'm saying to you? It's not that it's not an immediate red flag. It's cautiousness that as a man, I'm expecting you, I'm saying to you that when you are describing your woman, it's about the inner qualities. You can say she's a beautiful or she's a baddie, but let me tell you this now, bro, her inner qualities, family. Because when you're ready to marry, you're thinking about the emotional qualities that she brings to the table, not her booty. Okay? And her booty is crazy. I can't lie to you. All right, cool. Cool. Let me get some water. And let me just do this quickly. First and foremost, let me just say this. Look, we're going to get on to Chaz. I said Chaz Patrice. No, sorry. I apologize. Alonzo and Patrice. Sorry. I lied to you. I'm sorry. It's not Chaz. It's Alonzo and Patrice. I apologize. Sorry. I've lied to you guys. I got you excited. Forgive. Okay? All right? Forgive. Now, let me just say this first and foremost. Can I do something, guys? Can I do something? Listen, I'm in a new season. I wanted to say this. Listen. We have over 13 new members who have just joined today. I want to just say this. Thank you very much for joining the membership, guys. Look, without asking, without having to force you guys, the fact we have 13 new members is amazing. So let me just shout them out, the new ones who have come through. I want to thank you as well. And we've got SD who's come through. We've got Gemma, Gemma, I think we've got come through. Got Cheeky Caramel. We've got John coming through. Shout out. We've got Mandem. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. We've got Nikki Brown, we've got Tara coming through, Karen, got Lakeisha, got JME, just queening around. Shout out to you guys. I appreciate y'all. Let's play a little jam. Look, when the Lord wants to provide for you, if you don't know what season I'm in, I want to tell you this now. If you're just joining me, I'm a Christian and I'm born again, but I'm in a season of prayer. When God is answering your prayers, you have to celebrate him. Oh, we thank God. Look, shout out to Lisa Biggs as well, sending the 199 in. Light Brown Eyes also sending a 2 in. I appreciate you, baby. Italiana Anderson as well. Shout out to you guys as well. Thank you very much. All right, cool. Listen, we're gonna get into the next couple, right? We're gonna get to the next couple, but let me just quickly say this. I just gotta quickly pray because I can't lie to you. You guys have answered a prayer, and I always said to God, I'll always honor Him publicly when He does things for me. Yeah, okay. You don't know what's been happening to me behind the scenes. So when I'm telling you that I want to honor God, just let me have a minute. Father, we thank you in the name of Jesus, oh God, for this opportune time for you to present what you presented, Lord. I thank you for the answered prayer, and I thank you, Lord, that you are showing me that you are a provider, Jehovah Jireh. And I just want to thank you and bless those people that have been able to join the membership. I pray we have more. I pray that we're able to supply and service the people with the content that they need that will bless them and also encourage them also to have more healthier relationships. So we thank you, Lord, for this opportunity for you to show who you are, which is God, Jehovah Jireh. We thank you, and in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. All right, cool. Listen, let's get into it. All right, let's get into it because, baby, We got to get into something, okay? We got to get into something, okay? We got to talk about Alonso and Patrice, okay? Alonso and Patrice, we're going to get into it, okay? We're going to get into it because I feel sorry for Alonso, but also at the same time, I kind of get it.
The last relationship.
Oh, hold on. I kind of get it. And I'll tell you why I kind of get it. Because, let me see if I can find my clip. Sorry, I am clicking through and I'm trying to find my clip. Okay, I think it's here. Here we go. All right, let's go.
Like, you have any concerns about or?
Well, the one thing that I did want to bring up, she gonna let you be you?
That's big, man. I got some decisions.
All right, cool. So the one thing I would say about Alonso and Patrice situation here, right? Now, I want to give people the grace. I want to also offer grace. First and foremost, I'm going to say this. I didn't understand. It didn't make sense for me why Patrice forced the situation with Alonso. No, sorry, forced the situation with Chaz. I didn't get it. I didn't understand why Patrice forced the situation with Chaz because he wasn't looking for her. Right, he wasn't checking for her, so I was really confused as to why that actually happened. I didn't get it, right? But what I will say is, okay, that I understand the decision between Chaz and Alonso. I get why she's in indecision, right? My thing is this, okay. My thing is this. Looking at obviously Alonso and Patrice in the situation is that I can understand why she has hesitation for Alonso because he's not ready. Okay, because he's not ready. Okay, so because he's not ready, right? Because he's not ready, unfortunately, with the situation at hand, he's not ready in terms of having a house, having a plan. When she asked him a question about, will he get a house? He was like, yeah, tomorrow. And it's a bit exciting. I mean, no, it's a bit haphazard. It's a bit like, okay, you're not really sure what you're doing. You're not really sure about Wagwan. Do you get what I'm saying to you? And so for me personally, I'm looking at it going, do you see what I'm saying to you? So I get why she might feel a little bit of indiscretion and feeling a little bit of anxiety because when he answers questions, because of his nature to joke, he's causing her to feel unsecure. Now, the reality of the situation is, listening to his story, I can understand why he jokes so much because you come from a place where you kind of experience some kind of hardships. So you've used comedy as a way of getting around things. But the problem with that is you must know when and where to do comedy. You must know that relationships aren't always comedy. Relationships aren't always a space for you to be the comedian. You must know when and where, time and season. And when you begin to mature, you begin to realize that actually I can't joke about everything. It's annoying to joke about everything. So when you're in a season where the woman is asking you, what are we trying to do? And you making jokes, you're actually creating this kind of insecurity in the person. Right? So they have a lot of fun. You have a lot of insecure, not unsecure. I mean, unsecure is a word too. You can make the person feel unsecure. You know what I mean? They're no longer secure. You know what I mean? But I hear you. But yeah, no, like, so they have a lot of fun in terms of what they do, where they go. It's very enjoyable. But there's a part of her that still wants security, and because she wants security, unfortunately, she's gonna want a certain things to be in place that you may not have thought about yet. So what Alonso really needs to do is actually get into a place of starting to think, because you're now dating an older woman. She's going to force your time. Okay? She's going to force your time. And the reason why she's going to force your time is because she's in a different walk of life. And this is why when you as a man, if you are going to date somebody older, if you're a man, listen to me very carefully. If you are a man dating somebody older, considerably older, maybe 5 years or so, give it 5 years plus, you're going to have to be aware that the different stage of life means that they require a different stage of things, which means you may be rushed into doing certain things. So where you would feel comfortable taking your time, she may be like, I want it now, because that's what she's in the season she's in. She's 40, whatever, going on to 50, no offense to her. But she's in a stage of life where she wants that security. So now, unfortunately, That's what she's going to be wanted. Now, the other key part is, and as somebody just said it herself, she has to take responsibility because that is also what you are going for. A younger man with far more stamina, more energy, more vitality. You know, he's vibrant, but you're going to have to work with the fact that his timescales aren't going to be your timescales. He's what, 30, 32? He can wait another couple of years before he buys another house. So he doesn't have to be forced into a situation to go and buy a house. Do you get what I'm saying? He doesn't have to be forced to go and buy a house because it's not on his time scale just yet. That's the trade-off that Dee is telling us about. You want to go with somebody who's younger, you're going to have to be more patient. If you're going with somebody who's older, you're going to have to speed things up. The question is, which one comes first, the chicken or the egg? Does the speed up go first or does the patience come along? Well, that's a question. And only really the two people in a relationship can actually answer that question. Do we speed up or do we have more patience? Do I need to be in a space where I'm being more cognizant and I'm actually being more aware that I need to put more emphasis into what I'm doing right now? Or do I need to slow it all the way down and say, actually, I need to be more patient? Only those two can really answer it. What I would give is some caveats to that. Here are some of the caveats I would give to that, right? Number one, can he speed up? That's the question. Can he speed up? Can he speed up his process? Is he in a place where he can speed it up? Because he already told us that for himself, he hasn't hung up no pictures on his wall because he knows that he isn't in a space of being married yet, but he wants to get to there. So can he speed it up? Along says 36. Well, there you go. Yeah. So the question is, can he speed it up? If he can speed it up, then he should speed it up, right? But if he's not able to speed it up as of yet because there are certain mitigating circumstances, like a bank account hasn't got enough savings in, or, you know, your job doesn't have that level of financial ability just yet, then maybe you may look at those mitigating circumstances and say, maybe we've got to slow it down. Now, if Patrice wants to slow it down, then she has, Patrice wants this gentleman, she has to think about how then best to mitigate her own frustrations of wanting it when she wants it. Do you know what I'm saying to you? You're going to have to be able to find a balance between wanting it, okay, and when you want it, and be able to bring patience into the scenario. Right? So they may have to look at time scales and see if this actually works. But I understand why she looked at Chaz, because he's already set up and ready. Like, I get why the Chaz situation came in. He's set up and ready. And so in that particular space, being set up and ready, she can walk into his life and it'll be okay. Right? So she can walk into Chaz's life and things will be set. But the reality is, she had no desire for Chaz. Right? None. She has no desire for Chaz. Is not thinking about Chaz. Ain't want Chaz. Really and truly. Right? So it almost felt like a game in some sorts, right? Because, you know, she, at that point, what she did is that I think, you know, she just wanted to explore her options. I'm not mad at it. You know, I get it. Wants to do her thing. But again, you know, she has to look at some of those mitigating circumstances to see if this is really what will work for her long term. We'll see. We don't know 100%. You know, we have to look at it from that perspective. Do you know what I'm saying to you? So, all right, cool. Let's move it on then. All right, let's move it on, and let's get into the next part. Okay, so we're going to talk about, obviously, a little bit about Chaz and Patrice. No, I already talked about them. I don't want to talk about anymore. I don't want to talk about anymore. We've gone with them. Let's go with, obviously, is it Chaz and Vanessa? Okay, we'll talk with Chaz and Vanessa. Alrighty, Chaz and Vanessa. Listen, shout out to you guys who are here. We have 780 people in the damn room. Wow. Y'all really want this episode talked about. I hear it. Listen, God bless y'all. We have 780 people in this room. Shout out to y'all. We appreciate you. Listen, if you haven't joined the membership, I need you guys to join it, because when it goes to Super Panel, you won't be able to talk. You'll just be able to see. You know what I'm saying to you? And I want you to see. I don't want you to talk. You know what I'm saying to you? I want you to lay claim to what you're seeing in front of you, okay? All right, I want you to see and I want you to talk, okay? Shout out to Aries says, I can't stay, but Chaz was hella corny for that. I appreciate that, okay? Thank you very much for that. Yes, I hear you. I hear you on that one. I hear you for that. I can't even lie to you, okay? Let's talk about Chaz, and let's talk about Chaz. Let's talk about, obviously, good old Vanessa, because this situation be killing me. I can't lie to you, it be killing me. Let's get to it, because it be killing me. I know what be happening.
I will always want the very best for Vanessa, but in
Alright,
this
let's go back
moment,
even.
I need to
We need
ver-
to-
how
we need to even
much
sit-
of those. It was so
show
strange
it.
why he felt that was
We need to show
She's
the
not
rose
choosing me
bar.
either, because God knows I could not choose her.
And you also have an issue with my dog. But Noah's not going anywhere.
Damn. When the brother said, listen, you got an issue with my dog, I ain't going nowhere. I said, damn. But can I be honest with you? Both of these two are playing. Now, listen, I said, I'm going to say it from the very jump, right? I backed Vanessa for the way that Chaz behaved by exposing this voice note, right? I backed her because in all honesty, I get it, like what he did, I didn't like it. I wasn't with it. I wasn't for it. I wasn't down for it, right? I have to be honest with you. And so for me personally, I got to be real. I wasn't down for the exposure. Now, but what was exposed was important. She playing too. So if she was playing, then nobody is innocent in this situation. Right? If some of you don't know, there was a voice note that got leaked. So if you don't know, there was a voice note that got leaked. Shout out to Kamisha Reviews, because she also got the audio, and the audio was saying about how Vanessa was playing, basically, and acting. So in reality, both of them are playing. Okay? Both of them are playing. All right? So in reality, both of them are a problem in the situation, right? None of them are being honest about how they really felt. But according to what we see on the screen, not you guys putting rose emojis, but according to what we see on the screen and what was shown, let's be honest, Chaz pulling the rose situation is just absolute carnage. It's crazy. What is this that we're seeing? How is it that you give this girl sunflower roses, take out a rose that's, and all I could think of was a song. I don't know if you guys know this song, but it's a Christian song. It says, crucified, lay behind a stone. I can't sing, my voice gone, I was shouting last night. You live to die, rejected and alone, like a rose trampled on the ground. You took a fall in honor of me above all. Like, it reminded me of this worship song. We have a worship song in Christianity, and it's like, it's talking about Jesus being a rose and being trampled on the ground. And it's like, I was like, why is he taking a trampled rose and then literally saying, well, I want to be honest with you, like this rose, my love for you is dead. I'm like, what are we doing? I'm like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this? This is why we're getting called sassy. Okay? This is why we're getting called sassy, because all of this stuff is just nuts. Now it's making me think, so why did he leak again, allegedly, why did Chaz leak the audio? If you already got her back, if you gave her the rose treatment, why would you need to get her back with the audio? That's what I'm trying to figure out. That is what I'm trying to figure out. You get what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure out why, if you already got her back, okay, why would we need to try and do this? It doesn't make sense. It don't make sense. So my man's intentionally trying to, both of them are trying to get each other, but you're now intentionally trying to get, you're trying to get Vanessa back with the rose situation instead of just saying, hey, look. And all it was is have you noticed, guys, this situation was very similar to Rashina. Very similar. right? This situation is very similar to Rashina. As soon as he felt Rashina was gonna do it, like exit the process, well, you know, you can see him start to snowball. And in this situation too, when you see that Vanessa is also saying, well, I'm gonna choose myself, it's like you spoke my big moment. And you know, and again, so it was almost like, and I can't. Vanessa also knew that she ain't choosing that man. Let's be honest. Vanessa knew she ain't choosing that man. Okay, let's not pretend. Vanessa knew she ain't choosing that man. Ain't no way in heck. She weren't choosing him. She weren't trying to choose him. She weren't trying to hear nothing. She was going to do what she was going to do. Okay, so they were both going to choose. They were both never going to choose each other, right? So they wanted to have a moment. It's like they both wanted to have a moment in that situation. It felt like when she was telling him basically, you know, that you know, she's seen him have so many babes and and he was letting her know, like, you know, you're unstable. You know, you're I can't do a toxic love. I was like, what? Where are these shots coming from, guys? Where are all these shots coming from? Right? He's like, he said he said it's great that you choose yourself. I gotta choose myself. You know what I mean? He's like, I gotta choose myself. I was like, oh, okay. I guess you gotta choose yourself. You know what I'm saying to you? I was just like, yo, what is going on? I was I was like, yo, this is nuts. These two are doing the maddest thing. You know? So yeah, I was looking at that, and that's just nuts as well. And then I think it was when he said, obviously, and that conversation earlier as well, when he said, obviously, I just felt like, you know, what I needed, you know, I lost faith, because what I really needed was, you know, I needed you when I needed you to have a word for me, and I needed to hear you. I just needed to hear, you know, are you okay? And she was like, wait, you needed to hear, are you okay? But when you left, did you check on us? Did you check on me? Oh, baby, do you like what you see? Did you check up on it? Check up on it? Check up on it? Check up on it? Did you check up on it? You didn't check up on us. You left without saying anything. So I love that little, and then even the brother was like, yo, even the brother was like, you know what, that's a good point. You know what? Because, you know, at the end of it, because, you know, he tried to say, oh, no, she was like, oh, he has so many connections. And he was like, and the brother was like, well, you know, you had some connections too. She's like, yeah, I had one. He had 10. And the brother was like, you know what? Fair point. Can't say nothing. I was like, yo, hey, the brother was on smoke. Okay, all right, listen, brother was on smoke. Okay, so I can't even hate on the brother. You know, he couldn't even come for Vanessa like that. I mean, he came for Patrice a little bit, but he couldn't come for Vanessa like that, because Vanessa let him know, listen, hey, your brother's out of bounds. Brother was like, you know what? Like the Drewski meme, hey. Okay, all right. Just gotta let that go. Okay, I was gonna go to bat for you, bro, but she got a point. Okay, she got a point. So I can't be mad at her. I gotta let her know. Okay, so I ain't gonna be mad at it. Okay, so and the fact is, you know, like I said, Chaz is cheeky, because Vanessa was like, oh, he texts me saying like everything is reset, and she was like, you know, that's a bit strange. Why was he texting me like everything's reset and everything's all good? You know what I'm saying to you? Why was he texting her like everything was all good? Because he wanted to show? Because he wanted to let her know? Okay? Because he wanted to let her know? All right? Because he wanted to show her. He was gonna do her dirty. Okay? He was going to do her dirty. That's why he sent a little text saying, oh, we're all good now, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, he was setting her up. He was like, I want to lure her into a false sense of security. I want her to feel comfortable. I want her to feel like I'm going to choose her, and I'm going to let her know you weren't going to get chose, because the rose was already set up. Right? The rose was already set up. So, forgive me if when I said to you guys that Chaz is not the one to be mentoring Laron. Shoot, I'd probably be a better mentor for Laron. You know what I'm saying to you? Okay, I'd probably be a better mentor for Laron than Chaz right now. Because Chaz is just as petty as Laron. It's why they get on. You know what I'm saying to you? It's why they get on. They're just equally as petty. Shout out to Kesha. She said, did the audio reveal she didn't like him? No, but more of a case of she was playing, not with necessarily him, but playing in general, just acting in a particular way. So, yeah, she didn't actually say that she didn't like him. She just said obviously she's playing. That's all. But she definitely liked him. I can tell you that for sure. Yeah. You know what I mean? But yeah, no, real spit, like it was, I'm gonna be honest with you, it was crazy. Like they were throwing shots. The first part is that when they're throwing shots at each other, it's killing me.
Going anywhere. I have to choose Nola. So the flowers that I bought today, I know you love sunflowers, but I also brought a petrified flower. Yeah.
Yeah, the nigga crazy, can't lie to you. Yeah, the Negro crazy, I can't lie to you. The Negro crazy, you know what I mean? Yeah, the Negro crazy. Yeah, I can't lie to you. Was I wrong about Laron? Yes, I was wrong about Laron. Yes, I was wrong about Laron. But yeah, no. Yeah, I can't lie to you. That was nuts. I can't lie to you. The fact that he prepared that. The fact that he prepared that is what's killing me the most. My man actually prepared that ready. Got that all worked up. Said to himself, you know what? We gonna do what we gonna do. You know what I'm saying? We gonna do what we gonna do. And I'm gonna set it up, have the flowers ready, and then take out a rose out of there. And it's too much. Okay? It's too much. You know, it's way too much. Like, you're way too prepared for this moment, my guy. You're way too prepared for this moment. Like, I can't lie to you. Like, it's too much. And really all it is just he's a very petty person. Like, it's that's what it is. It's petty. It's pettiness. It's a pettiness. And oftentimes that's emotional immaturity. You know what I mean? Emotional maturity. Shout out to Kesha. Said that was some of the weirdest and lamest ever. I hear you. I definitely hear you. It was just it's unnecessary, but it's just emotional immaturity at that point where you're trying to get the person back, and it's because you felt hurt by what they did, and instead of composing oneself, one went after the person. And so you see, Chaz is more sophisticated with his getbacks. Like Laron is emotionally volatile, so his getback is in your face. Chaz is calculated. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Chaz is calculated, and so when you're calculated, it unfortunately, you know, you plan your stuff better. And I get it. Listen, that's why I'm not really taking it any further. He's just a calculated person, and that always looks more deviant when you're calculated. But the reality is, there's a lot of us who are quite calculated. You know what I mean? I'm a calculated person. If I'm going to get you back, I am calculating. I'm not trying to get you back in the immediate moment. I'm not trying to do a Laron. I'm not trying to explode in your face. No. I'm planning. You know what I mean? I'm planning. So I get the thought process. I'm just saying it is what it is. I just know that obviously it is what it is. You know what I'm saying to you? Someone said the covert narcissist. I don't want to say that. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I'd rather not, but I haven't seen enough of him to say that. Someone said he would put him in the middle of the night. I hear it. I definitely hear that. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Yeah, some of you are very petty in this chat. I could say that for free. Some of you lot are petty in this chat. You're talking about someone else is petty. We're all a bit petty in this chat. Let's be honest. We all got a little pettiness in us. We all got a little pettiness that we shouldn't have. All right, cool. So let's I actually can't believe it. It's actually wild. This is it. Look.
To illustrate that the love and care that I have for you, it's died.
Oh!
Chaz having this dead rose. It was so strange. Why he felt that was necessary, I'm not sure. I just think.
Even Vanessa was like, what is going on? Why is he doing that? Like, why is he doing that? What's wrong with him? Like, what's wrong with him? Like, why is he doing this? Like, do you know what I'm saying to you? Why is he doing this? And LC Charm says the lowest was, I can't love someone like you. Yeah, he did say that. He's like, I can't love someone like you because you're toxic. I said, damn. Like, did he have to do, like, I was like, is he toxic? So wait, you held on to her this whole entire season and now she's toxic? What, because she didn't want you to, because she didn't want you to try and play her in regards to the fact that you had many connections. Now she's toxic? How's that toxic? Do you know what I'm saying to you? Like, how was that toxic? Like, that's my point. Like, how was that toxic when all it was is that the person chose themselves. You chose yourself. How is it toxic? What, because of the person, you said the person's unstable. What, because they were questioning the amount of connections that you had? Okay. You know what I'm saying to you? Yeah, I can't lie to you. That was a bit of a wild thing. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah. You guys are saying they're cooking chat. Listen, we have officially 918 people in the room. Y'all are crazy for this episode, and I appreciate you guys being in the space. If you haven't done so already, please make sure you guys are tapping into the membership. It's £1, it's $1. I make it cheap so you can join and it doesn't break the bank. Join the membership, right? Because it's gonna go members only when we have the panel on. And so you know, we want you guys to be able to be a part of the conversation. I know you guys are enjoying your cooking, Chaz, and stuff like that. I want you to enjoy that, okay? All right, I want you to enjoy that, okay? All right, cool. Let's get into a bit more. And like I said, my time is almost up, so let me get the other part as well. Oh, sorry. I want to go to Maya and Laron. We're going to talk about some stuff here. Okay. I might have an unpopular opinion here, to be honest, with the Maya and Laron situation. Yeah, I might have an unpopular opinion. Maya Laron. I might have an unpopular opinion with this situation.
Not spoken to Maya since the other day when I was supposed to meet Maya's mom. So, yeah, I'm excited to see everyone, but at the same time, I know it was all good until this guy is all up in her ear, super close, and she's...
Alrighty. I'm going to have an unpopular opinion here. Okay? I'm going to have an unpopular opinion. I think Laron has issues in terms of regulating his emotions very well. You know, I think there are issues when it comes to, you know, Laron, the way he deals with his emotions and how he handles moments that make him feel insecure. He's got an ego, which he allows to overrun him. He says things in the moment when he's heated that he doesn't mean. He's in a space where he says stuff that he just needs to just think twice before he says it, right? I'm not saying he's ready for love. Let me be honest with you. I don't think he's ready for love, right? It's going to be a problem, okay? It is an absolute problem, and he is. This is why we were on his neck the whole entire time, because he is a problem. But I'm going to say something. We're going to have to be honest about ourselves here. Now, something for me didn't make sense. I'm going to play the clip. Something for me didn't make sense. I hope I got the right clip. I hope I got the right clip. Let me see. Hold on. I want to get the right clip. I need to go into my notes. Okay. Someone said, don't do it. I got to do it, man. I got to do it. Like, I just think to myself, there's a bit more to it. Like, I got to say there's a bit more to it, right? Okay, cool. 5:40. Okay, cool. So I think I'm gonna say it again. I do feel like I understand why he felt some type of way. Right? He still fluffed it. He still messed it up. He still caused his own downfall but I'm gonna tell you the truth. I don't think Maya ever wanted him. I mean, I've been saying it for the beginning of the season. Okay, Maya told us they were never together, so I want to say it. Maya was never interested in that brother. Played him textbook. Yeah, played him textbook. Because if Maya's been in our chat and told us they were never together, they were never this, they were never that, baby, played him like a textbook. Okay, now I want you to listen to this part.
About you.
Beyond me at this point.
I
You
would
want me to
even-
get up here and say I love you. Let's go be together. And then if I never talk to you again, you don't care. As long as it's
No,
on
it's
camera,
not. You know that's not true.
No, I don't.
Maya, you cannot sit there.
Okay, I'm gonna play the clip again. Okay, I played it too fast. I want to play that clip. In that clip, what she says is, "You just want me to say that I love you, yeah, and then you'll be all happy. You don't really care about me." I was like, "Wait, what? You don't think this man cares about you?" The man that is moping behind you, you don't think that man cares about you? Now, I am not saying, okay, I'm not saying that she's wrong for separating from him. Listen to what I'm saying. There's two things can be true, okay, all right? He was wrong, and the way he behaved showed insecurity and showed that he shouldn't be with her. We can hold that tension and that truth. I'm not going to stop that. But let's keep it a buck. When you start saying he didn't want you, baby, the guy is tracking after you like quote unquote simpish. So you know that guy wants you, right? So you pretend as if you don't know the guy wants you in this moment. That's why he thinks you're playing him. Because you know that guy wants you. Suddenly you don't know he wants you. The guy was wanting to have an extreme fit in the club, so he doesn't want you, which was not on the show. It wasn't on the show. So what are you talking about? The issue that happened at the club was not on the show. So I'm not saying that someone should be, that he's right for her. Again, I want to make it very clear. We can hold a healthy tension. Okay? We can hold a healthy tension and we can say two truths can be right. He wasn't right for her. He played his game and he didn't have the balls to be able to play it. He lacked courageousness. He was egotistical. He was insecure. He was all those things. But he didn't lie about getting played, baby. Listen, Olga was even... Look, when you do this, it's a psychological damage. I'm telling you, it's a quick switcheroo. If you ever... Listen, if you know anything about the psychology, how you play the game, this is a quick switcheroo. Okay? This is a quick switcheroo. I'm telling you, the quick switcheroo. When you drop that game, like, you didn't even really want me anyway. You lie. You know I wanted you. You know I wanted you. You know I've always wanted you. Right? You know. Right? At the very end, the guy is still begging to want to be with her, and she said she wants to go her way. You cheeky, Maya. You cheeky, you. You really cheeky, you, Maya. You cheeky, you. I see you. You're playing a very clever game, baby. We know you're playing a very clever game, baby. We know that. Listen, I'm just saying, it doesn't mean that Maya is to fault for his behaviors. We're just saying that there's a little bit of a game that she played and she knew what she was doing. Okay, all right. Just say it one more time. Look.
It's about
It's
you.
beyond me at this point.
I
You
would
want me to
even-
get up here and say I love you. Let's go be together. And then if I never talk to you again, you don't care. As long as it's
No,
on
it's
camera,
not.
no.
You know that's not.
Why does she question that? Why is her thought process that he just wants her to say, I love you, and then he gonna be good? Why is her thought process that he just wants her to say, I love you, and he's good? Don't get it twisted. Laron is a game player. He's manipulative. I'm not gonna deny that. He knows this. I've told him to his face. I told him, when we've spoken behind the scenes, I've told him all this stuff. He does all have those situations. But I'm telling you, that guy likes that girl. Right? You can't miss it. Okay? You can't miss it. But the incident happened off camera. It happened off camera. Up to now, Laron hasn't hidden who he is. The insecurity, the ego, the lack of game. He hasn't hidden those things. The camera's caught it, to be honest. And it's also caught her energy where we're looking at going, it don't really feel right. You know what I mean? It don't really feel right. You know? It don't really feel right. So I said, I pray you don't have to deal with a delusional person. But if you ever do, you'll understand no matter what she said. I mean, that's fair. I mean, look. Hey. Look. So I'm just saying, we have to be honest about the situation. There's a little bit of a game there that she played. She knew what she was doing. You know what I mean? She knew what she was doing. And I think as men, we also very much are aware when women are kind of, if you've played a game before, you kind of clock other people that play the game as well. You kind of clock other people that also do a certain thing. She knew she could take advantage of him. And it worked to her advantage. I'm not saying that she's a bad person. I'm just saying that she just knew. Like, again, this is not a defense of Laron. That you got to be able to hold a healthy tension between the two things. There's no defense for Laron. There is none. Okay? There is no defense. There is, but I can understand why he might have felt like he got played. And so I'm only making the case, okay? But it's, you know what I mean?
Not true.
No, I don't.
Maya, you cannot sit there and say that I just want to be with you for this process. I tried to make this right. I thought we were past this.
How he handled
Maya knew what she did. Maya knew what she did. Okay, she knew what she was doing. All right, put pressure on that boy. That boy never saw it coming. He thought he had the game. He thought he was winning. He ain't never winning this game. Maya knew exactly what she did. She got that game locked. Now he's a bit of a reckless one. Okay, all right, he's a bit of a reckless one. Can't lie to you. You know, I'm not gonna pretend he's a reckless one. Okay, his insecurities has caused him to be reckless. I'm not gonna deny that, but let's just keep it a buck. You know, let's just keep it a buck. Okay, this part also killed me too.
it's like it still happened. It does not mean that I'm
Do you see the? I don't know if that's a cut. I don't know. I'll just have to say it might be editing. But when she rolled her tongue, when you roll your tongue in your mouth like that, now it might have been for something else. It might have been for something else. It might have been for something else. I just wanted to say that again. But when you roll your tongue like that a little bit, I just want to just play it a little bit backward, just because she's still fanning herself. So it's still the same scene. It's still the same scene. I'm just gonna just watch.
how he handles his anger. That's so toxic to me. Even if you come back and apologize, it's like it still happens. It's just not
When you roll your tongue like that, you know what it is. See, it was very. Do you see what happened? No. Can we? It's the same. I believe it's the same clip, right? So that part where they're talking, because she's still fanning herself, and she stops. She looks, and then it's out. Gotcha. Gotcha. Who's crying now? Oh, you thought you had me? Oh, little boy, did you not know? Little boy, do you not know? I'm telling you. Hey, listen, look, like I said, I'm just saying, it may be edited, so it may not be correct. I'm willing to be open about it. I'm not saying it's 100%, but I'm just saying, when you roll your tongue like that, you know you got the person. When you... Ooh. I'm just saying, you know, maybe she's fed up. Maybe it's because she's fed up. Maybe she is. I'm just saying what I'm interpreting, what I'm seeing in it. You got what I'm saying to you? Maybe I'm interpreting what I'm seeing. Maybe it's not. Maybe she is pissed. You know, maybe she is pissed about the situation. Now, my thing is this situation here. Okay, this situation here played out a little bit differently. Okay, all right.
I'm childish, but you don't hit me back. How am I childish? Because I don't want to sit here and get played on national TV.
Wait, we're having a conversation. Go the up.
Laron is not emo.
Now, two things are happening here. This is really interesting, right? Laron left the table and went off. Laron left the table and went off. Okay, so he went off. And as he went off, Maya then followed to go and speak to him. He told her to don't touch me. You know what I mean? He said, don't touch me. I'm trying to, you know, like, I'm pissed off right now. Like, let me go, right? And, you know, when people are pissed off, they don't really hear nothing. I can't lie to you. When people are pissed off, you know, they don't really hear nothing. You know what I'm saying? They don't hear nothing else. And so I get it, you know? I totally get it. I'm just saying to you that in that moment, now someone could say it as manipulation. He could have, yeah. I can say it. I can also be open to that. That it might have been manipulation, him kind of running off, and then her having to come and chase him. It can be looked at that. I can't deny that part. Also, that's also a very fair way of looking at it as well. I also look at it as a situation where it's like, well, once he ran off, and then you chase after him, at that point, you know what I mean? Like I get it. Like I'm pissed off, but then if you then chase after her, what are you complaining about, Laron? Yeah, you can't complain if you walk off and then she comes after you. You didn't want her to come after you. That's fine. You tell her don't touch me, don't talk to me. That's cool. But then you can't complain when she just finally walk off, and then you're like, why are you not talking to me about you calling me childish? Da-da-da. Now I don't think she should call him childish, because when I'm pissed off, you coming to me when I'm pissed off and trying to talk to me and I don't want you to talk to me isn't childish. I just don't want to talk to you right now. But at the same time, you don't then go after her after she's walking off, because then you are kind of playing into the childish aspect in a sense. You kind of have to hold it. So I also get that. You know what I mean? I also get that. You know, so. Yes, Laron has taken Maya's pics down now. Yeah, I told him to take it down, man. It's not a good look at all, man. You know what I'm saying? So, we got him to take it off. All right, cool. No, I didn't say he's not. I didn't say he's not childish. But that moment, if the person walked off, they don't want to talk about it. They've walked off. Now, he probably should have talked to her before. He should have said something before then. He should have said something before he walked off. But obviously, if he's walked off and you go and chase after him, okay, and you go and chase after him, the person doesn't want to talk. They're not in that space. But I see also where he made a mistake is that when she walked off after, don't start complaining then, because you wanted the space. Do you know what I'm saying to you? That's my point. It's like, if you're walking off, you have every right to want to walk off. Maybe you're not in a space to talk. Fine. But if she chases after you and then calls you childish, I get it. You don't like it. But then don't chase after her when she calls you childish, because now you are going to behave like a childish. Do you know what I'm saying to you? If you're walking, walk off. Walk off. Do you know what I'm saying? Hold it down. That's what I'm trying to say. All right, cool. Listen. It's about to go members only. We've done a good hour. Thank you guys for being on this. We're going to get the super panel up in a few seconds. So if you're not a member, well, you're not going to type in the chat. Okay, we've got 1,000 people on the, almost 980 people on the live now. So if you want to be part of the conversation, you want to talk, you want to be part of the chat because it's booming right now. People are having their say, they're enjoying themselves. I'm gonna need you to jump on this membership, okay? Because it's only £1, it's only $1. Ain't gonna break your banks. I intentionally did that way so everyone can get on board. I don't need to rob you like Paul and Peter. But we're gonna make it members only, okay? All right, so in about a few seconds, you're going to see the chat is going to go members only. 3, 2, 1, it's going members only. There we go. It's now members only. If you want to join the membership, I'm going to put a link in the chat so you can join the membership and so that you can be a part of the conversation. Before I bring the members, before I bring on the super panel on as well, we're going to have a good conversation today. I can tell you that for free, okay? All right, fantastic. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right, cool. Let me put in that. I'm gonna pin the link, and we're gonna get the show popping. We're gonna get it popping. Oh. Come on, why is my computer doing this? Thank you. There we go. Pin message. All right, cool. Alrighty. I think a couple of people, I think Sean and I think are coming in now as well. So, listen. It's gonna get tight tonight. Shout out to my new members who've come through. Miss TY28, shout out to you. We've got Monica coming in as well. Bookie, shout out to you. Crystal G, shout out to you. T White, love for that as well. We appreciate you. We got also Tisu's LC said transfer of energy. 2 can play that game. Your game, play that game. Yeah, bad boy song. And I see the girls are behind, so I see my panels are getting there loaded. Yeah, if only your girl knew, because if she did know, It wouldn't be that way. Shout out to KF as well. All right. Listen, the membership, if you can't log on your phone, try on your iPad. If you can't do it on your iPad, try on your computer, try on your desktop. Sometimes it doesn't work with the format that you're working with. So if you can't log on to the membership, and just click on the link with a different app. So either use your iPad, your computer desk, whatever. And that will work for you guys as well. All right, cool. We're gonna get the show underway. We're gonna get the show underway. Sean ain't here yet. He gonna always be fashionably late. So you gotta let that brother be, cause he like me. All right, so let's get this show pop in. And Jay, I'm loving the look, baby. Okay, I've changed. I've given my life to Jesus, so I can't flirt too much. But you looking good. Okay, all right. I can see the anointings on you, baby. Okay. Feel the spirit. All right, cool. Listen, let's start strong, right? Because obviously people want to talk about the maddest things first, but you know what? We'll get there. We will get there. I promise we will. No, let's start with the mad thing. All right, cool. Let's talk about Chaz and Vanessa, because I know, listen, that's where the carnage is. It's Chaz and Vanessa. That's where the carnage is. That's where the craziness is. I want to know your thoughts. Chaz and Vanessa, talk to me. Jay, I know you're ready, so you've been smoking them in the chat, so talk to me.
Well, I'm still black, so I don't never know when he's talking.
He ain't even got it.
He want to be my friend so bad. He want to be my friend so bad. But I'm gonna tell you for real, unpopular opinion. He touched my petty bone when he did what he did. Now he lost it. It got a little rattled. My petty bone got a little rattled, but he lost it when he gave the speech. The speech was like lackluster for me. But the dead rose, it was a start for the petty levels for me. I was like, okay, I see you. And the only reason I know everybody's going to be like, oh, Vanessa handled it so classy and all this stuff like that. But baby, the season needed to give me something. And it had any moment to give me something. This was the moment. But Vanessa gave me nothing. So I was just like, baby, I needed a Vanessa. The Vanessa that I know is back there, that stand strong with my brother, Wakanda forever Vanessa, that she wanted to be, not the corporate Vanessa that she's been showing us all season. I needed that Vanessa to step forth in this moment. But because Vanessa wanted to keep face and represent for you black women out there that just, want that classy black woman, she gave it to y'all. She gave you the classy black woman, took her flowers and left. But the petty black woman in me needed the Vanessa to go ahead and pick one of them, pick that flower apart, baby. That dead flower, I needed her to pick it apart. Baby, it was petrified. First of all, it's petrified. It's not even dead. It's still low-key living. It's frozen in time. So I would have played his ass all real quick. I'd have played Chaz so damn good in that moment. Like, you were really serious? You gonna give me this potpourri? Why, thank you, my guy. I'm about to lay this on the rose petals on my bed of the next nigga that's really about to enjoy my temple, who's really about to worship the ground that I walk on. Appreciate you. Okay, every bit about you. He wouldn't have got a chance to throw it in the lake because that rose would have went home with me and all the rest of the flowers. Okay, if I'm gonna take the rest of the flowers, all of them going with me, dead rose and all. Dead rose, baby, I know how to revive that thing. All right, these juices that you will no longer get, those wet kisses that we was having in a car that you're not gonna get anymore. Don't worry about it, baby. I know how to kiss this rose back to life. I would have pulled a whole, what's my guy, seal? I'd have put a whole seal, a kiss from a rose from above. Like, I would have put a whole thing on his ass. Like, bruh, Chaz would have been hurting his feelings. You already seen Chaz in your Member Live with me. You see them already in there climbing to my web. So, like, this moment wouldn't have even been a moment like this. I was a little disappointed in Vanessa. But for you corporate women out there, she did right for y'all. She did right for y'all. And I'll give her that. She was best to just walk away and ignore him and leave him. But I would have never gave him the opportunity to bzz me off. You ain't gonna dismiss me. I dismissed myself when I came in and told you I don't want you. Okay. So the fact that I already told you that I don't want you, you can keep your flowers, all of them. and you can go give them to the next person that you want to give them to, because I don't really need them. So I don't know. Chaz and Vanessa, Chaz was setting her up before I get out of here. So let's see what I talk. But Chaz was setting her up for failure in the first place from the whole introduction to his brother on how he introduced. You can see the vast difference between how he introduced Patrice and how he introduced Vanessa. He left it open when it came to Patrice. But when it came to Vanessa, it was, she's done this, she did this, and she did this. And oh, by the way, she don't like my dog. She don't like dogs. She don't like animals. If I am introducing somebody to you, coach, I'm not going to preface you with or give you anything about them when I want your honest opinion about this person in my life. But if I want you to sit here and tell me this person is either good or bad, I'm either going to implant the good or bad seeds into your head when you come, before they come. So that's what all Chaz was doing when it came to Vanessa, was implanting bad seeds into his brother's head when she came to the table. So the brother already has a notion to be like, yeah, I don't really know. I don't know about her. And he didn't do that with Patrice. So I was like, we already see where you're going with this, brother. Okay. And I told y'all, he pissing me off with the Nola, okay? Because I told y'all Nola men is not that great, okay? But usually they know how to charm a woman and get by and do these wonderful things. And he's disappointing me once again, because I feel like most of the Nola men that I know would at least been able to carry the facade, not just be behind the doors or in the confessionals telling y'all how much he likes Vanessa, not just texting her, hey, beautiful, I'm glad we back on the same page and all this stuff like that. But he would have been able to walk her all the way down to the bridge the way Patrice walked his ass to the bridge and then let him down. But kudos to Patrice on that. We'll get to that later.
Talk to me, C-Way. What are you telling me?
Hey, JR. Hey, y'all. Here's the thing. If Vanessa would have acted a fool, all the ladies in the chat and all the male identified women who are not a part of this channel would have been spending more time talking about Vanessa's reaction than they would have Chaz's diabolical behavior. So the only way to focus on what Chaz actually did was Vanessa to handle it the way she did. Because if she would have responded like Koshia, or would have responded how I probably would have, because my temper would not allow me to do what Vanessa did. He would have got smacked with them flowers, and then all the male identified people, instead of talking about what he did, would have been like, Seaway shouldn't have smacked him with the flowers though. Like that would have been their focus, right? So I'm glad that she didn't give anybody room to spend more time talking about her reaction than his diabolical behavior. And Vanessa has been giving us a 0 this entire season. So it's only right that she sit on 0 once again. Chaz, legit. I said this on another round. If you guys are not subscribed to another round, I don't know what you're doing. But I said this on another round. Chaz is top 5 most diabolical that have ever been on Ready to Love. That was the most childish display from a man pushing 50 I have ever seen in my life. Not even on TV. So honestly, I'm pretty sure Vanessa was in pure shock. If a man hands you a wilted flower that he planned out to represent the death of y'all relationship, just walk away. Don't say nothing to him. Leave the flower on the floor and just walk away, because he's a fool. And when you argue with fools, people are not going to know who's the fool. They're going to think both of y'all are fools. So she did the right thing. You walk away. That was foolish. That was a failed attempt. It was funny. I'm not going to lie. I did laugh, but it was ridiculous. Completely ridiculous. So this is the same person at IT don't know who hacked his phone. So let's be real. Allegedly, right? So that's what I got. Vanessa, it was boring, but she handled it the right way. She should have just left them flowers though, right where she got it.
JR, talk to me, man.
Yo, well, yeah, I agree with everything that's been said. It was a diabolical move from someone who clearly didn't like her from ages ago. This was very premeditated, had that whole thing mapped out, and I think it would have been worse if she had chosen him and he had hit her with that the whole petrified flower business. Then, man, he would have been piled on and destroyed in every single chat for eternity. He probably would have gone to number one villain. But thankfully, she got there first. She wasn't really feeling him either. And yeah, like it was a petty move, a bit theatrical, but you know, he weren't feeling her. Patrice came and nipped him at the finish line away from Vanessa. But you know, like I don't think he's beat up about it. And the killer thing for me is he dumped that petrified rose in a lake and let that swim off and drown somewhere. So he was really done with it.
But my question is, what makes a man act that petty? Like, to me, there is nothing more scary than a man that's that petty. You know what I mean? Like, and that's probably why him and Laron are besties. They're like the young and old version of just two petty, sassy men who not only are going toe to toe with women, they're trying to outdo women. Like, that's kind of scary. Like, why are you plotting on a woman? If you just didn't want Vanessa, she wasn't supportive, she wasn't this and that, you could have just told her to go be blessed queen. It's not going to work out. You know, like we were good for a short period of time, but our paths are not aligning. I wish you the best of luck. You know what I mean? Like, I just don't feel like, unless there's something that we're missing, I don't know what Vanessa ever did to deserve that type of mean behavior that he exhibited. And to me, if you're going to be that mean and nasty, I don't know, that's kind of scary. And it's still going on. Like, why are you hacking your own phone allegedly?
To have a person act this crazy, irrational, delusional, all of the above, generally it's good cooch. Just like when Good D has women acting crazy, it's good cooch. That's all I can tell you. You know what I'm saying? Only good cooch that cut you off have you acting like this, okay? Because you're mad that you're no longer on the hit list. When they cut you off, that's what this is, and that's what it's given. Good cooch has struck again.
I can see that. But Vanessa got to go. When you see somebody acting like this type of man who put poison in your food. Like, if somebody brings you a petrified flower, don't ever break bread with that person again.
If I can't have you, C-Way, nobody else will, baby.
That's what it's giving. Then you have the nerve to wear them suspenders. The audacity of that. Then you start talking in third person when you leave Patrice later on. Talk about Chaz did good, Chaz did great. Chaz is nuts. Lord have mercy. Between him and Laron, crazy. These people on this show are crazy. This is not for TV. This is for real life. No. He scared me. He top 5 for sure.
Yeah, I don't know about the good cooch part. I don't know. I think it's a severe disdain for her at this point. I don't think he likes her. It's definitely more on the dislike side. And that's why I think he went out like that. You know, for someone that you care about or you think you still have hope with, you wouldn't have done something so final. Like, nobody would. So I think He definitely fell out of like with her. I have heard him say that when they had the date at his house, she caused a problem. She did some things and said some things about him not kicking other people out the house so that they could have alone time, and he didn't like that.
Where you
So
heard
I
this
think
from?
gradually the
Where
dislike
you heard,
grew.
JR, where you heard this from?
I heard it from Chaz himself. So I think he needs to he needed to probably get back at her for the way that she made him feel in that moment, and gradually that dislike decreased. But yeah, definitely a very petty move.
You get set back at somebody like this for telling you what they want you to do, but you're not doing what they want you to do.
Does that make sense, JR?
Come on,
You know that
JR.
don't make sense.
No. I'm not saying it makes sense. I'm saying, listen, the only reason why he would do that is if he doesn't like her. Forget about all the other stuff. The underlying point is you only would do something like that when you feel like there's no hope, you have no interest in them no more, and you're out of there. The good thing
But
is,
I can't forget about the other stuff because you brought it up, JR. You brought it up.
Yeah, but I'm giving that was for context. It's not the main point to focus on. The fact of the matter is, he doesn't like her.
Okay, but it was for context. But what's the point if it's not the main point to focus on that? Why was it for context? Because
I'm saying that gradually
his web done got
the
around
dislike
you, JR, too. See, his web done got around you, JR, too, and it's okay. It's okay, baby. It's okay. We here for you. That's why you back. That's why you back, baby. It's okay.
Yeah, I don't even know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about, Jake? I think you need to take that nap that you were talking about. But yeah, like I think like I said, the only reason why you do that is if the dislike grew to that point. It's not something that you do spur of the moment. He premeditated that. So that means it was something.
JR, you're a regular dude who acts like a regular dude. And I mean that actually as a compliment. So if you don't like somebody, right? Are you gonna be like how you know how like some girls they don't like a dude or they don't like a old friend, but they keep watching their story, or a dude they don't like somebody but they keep watching their story? Are you like that? Are you the type of person if you don't like somebody you move on?
Are you still gonna be watching how much I dislike them? If I'm
you don't like them at all, you're not
the person, and I know it's only temporary, like a temporary fallout, then I'm not gonna cut them off. But if I'm gonna go all out to be extravagant to get rid of them, then that means I'm burning bridges. I'm not interested no more. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. There's no coming back.
Can I ask a question? Oh, go ahead. What you gonna say, Seaway, before I ask the question?
Well, one, Sean is backstage. He really wants to come up. But two, I know I was just there. Oh, okay, I got you. Because he don't know how to be on time. But two, though, I was gonna say, JR, like I'm a type person, and this is like my dude energy. If I'm done with you, I'm not watching your story. I'm not gonna bring you no petrified flower to be nasty towards you. I won't block you because I want you to see me thriving. I can't even talk today, but I'm not going to do anything to be petty towards you because I'm actually done with you. So I just find it very, very petty, especially from a man. If you're not effing with Vanessa, tell her to be blessed. What is with the games? I just never understand that. Like I've never understood that. But that's just not me. When I'm done with you, I'm legit done with you.
Before you answer, because this might help you answer your question. So my question is, what would be the actual cause for a man to go to this great extent to remove himself from a woman's presence?
The level of dislike for her and loss of connection, I think that's why he went so deep with how he wanted to dismiss her.
No. Okay, I'm going to ask the question
again.
Not
because he was feeling the cooch.
No, yeah? I'm asking the question again.
The good cooch theory doesn't work for me.
No, I'm not. It's not my cooch. I'm asking you literally, JR, I'm asking you literally for you as a man. And Sean and Kojo can answer this after you if they like. But for you to go to this level extent with a woman, what would be the reason? What would she have done to you that make you say, I have to go this far with her instead of just walking away?
Well, for me, I wouldn't do that. But I'm saying for him, who's different from me, I think that he did it because he doesn't like her as much as people may think he did. I wouldn't do that. So I can't really answer why he would do something like that. If I'm through with the person, then I'm not even going to wish you no negativity or any harm or anything. I'm out. We just don't need to talk. So I wouldn't go to those levels that he went. But I'm saying the only reason why I can see that he went to those levels is because he never liked her. There's no going back. There's no cooch that's going to sway him. Even if she chose him at that point, he already had premeditated his exit away from her in order to choose Patrice ahead of her. I hope that makes sense. No, still struggling?
I don't know. I don't know if one of the other men can help Chaz out better than JR, because right now you digging him a deeper grave, baby. It's giving way worse petty than it was before to start off with. I'm sorry. If you cannot just walk yourself away from the lady because you don't like her, then something else is wrong with you. Okay, something is absolutely wrong with you. You have to literally, I can actually give you some reasons why I will go to this extent to get a person not to like me, but I'm not about to do that for you. I want to know why you as a man will actually go to this extent to remove yourself out of a person's life. And I'm low-key helping you when I state it like this. When I say you removing yourself out of a person's life. You need to go have that
conversation with Chaz, because that's who's the one that did it.
I'm trying to have a conversation with you because you be having an observer for Chaz. You know what I'm saying? That can't be tied up tight.
So as an observer, I'm saying the only reason why I think a man would, why I think Chaz did that is because there was like, he ain't feeling her. As much as people may think, or people may have wanted him to act a certain way and try and, get with her and finish the process with her, or put his best foot forward and wish her positivity and all that. He wasn't doing that because he doesn't like her. It was all a facade, or to keep her along to the end. But he wasn't feeling her. Doesn't matter how good the cooch was or how much you want to sway it. No guy, in my opinion, would go to that great length for someone that he even had a morsel of care about. It was done.
Same question, Sean or Kojo, because y'all have to give me something better than what JR just gave me, because I'm sorry.
No, but let me just say first and foremost, shout out to 1,050 people in the room before the man them jump in and answer the question. Listen, we appreciate you those who've also joined the membership. Shout out to you guys as well. And I'm gonna let Sean go in a second. We've got PL, shout out to you. We've got Ivy, Olive, Sesh, Mrs. Ward, Italiana. We've got Queens, Geraldine. We've got Kia as well. And then Feelgood says, Chaz is whack for that move. I don't do the sassy word, but it was a it was a B word move. And the eldest man trying to be with the youngest woman, red flag, whack. Oh, damn. Shoot it.
I ain't gonna call you sassy, but I'm gonna call you a B. Okay, I like that.
I'm not involved. Sean, that question is to you. I don't know if you're there. They want to hear from yourself.
Yeah, I'm here after you left me in purgatory for and a half an hour. But yes,
I know you're not saying half the night. Why are you exaggerating like Jimmy? It was definitely not half an hour.
For like 15 to 20
15.
Yes, bro.
Oh my God, the lies. Go on.
That's not a lie.
No, he exaggerated like me. This is a Seaway.
Oh my God, giving me a Jimmy treatment, boy. Like I was here for 10 minutes when it's 2 hours and a half minutes. But go on, Sean. Sorry, my bad. It's good to have you though.
Don't gaslight me, okay? I will not be gaslit today. I was backstage for 15 minutes.
Not the gaslighter talk about don't gaslight me.
So
now he ain't got nothing to say.
Now listen, can I breathe? Y'all been up here bumping your gums for the last hour. I just got on. Let me collect my thoughts. So, I mean, in answer to that question, it's ego. And I think that ultimately, when you move in your ego, you just want to do whatever you feel like you need to do to trump the woman because you want to make it look like you was already gonna do what you was gonna do anyway. She don't control you, and yeah, I think. Listen, I'm not gonna hold you, Vanessa. As much as I'm not going to put my cape on for Chaz, I'm not going to put it on for Vanessa either. And outside of whatever transpired out of the show with these leaked recordings, she's told us a lot of things. She's told us when she was sitting in that couch with the blanket, she was like, listen, she liked Chaz because she felt he was low maintenance. Well, surprise, surprise, he's very not low maintenance. He's the opposite of low maintenance. And she don't like the dog. And I'm sorry, you don't like my dog, we're gonna have a big problem. And her rationale for not liking the dog is because she got enough on her own. So somebody has to accept you with what you have, right? So you should be willing and open, unless you have an allergy or some chronic fear of a dog. You got stuff going on. Why are you so opposed to somebody having a dog? It just sounds selfish, you know? So, hey, he was tired of her selfishness and he reacted. I don't agree with his actions. I think it was kind of silly, very goofy, but that's kind of Chaz's quirky personality. And then his brother definitely followed suit and did a lot of quirky, weird, strange things too. So I think that's just in his wheelhouse, but I don't think it was the right thing to do. I think Vanessa handled it very well. I like how she handled it. She kind of looked at him like he was strange, and she ignored him.
I hear it. Penny, talk to me. We're talking about Chaz. Good to see you, babe. Looking wonderful. Yes, we're talking about Chaz and his situation. Vanessa, what did you want to say?
He's a nasty piece of work, isn't he? I'm sorry, I have a cold, but Chaz's behavior just triggered me. And the reason why is because Chaz is one of those people who are nice and gentle that you overlook that their character is really bad and mean. Because usually when people are like that, they usually, okay, well, if he's teamed up with somebody who's louder, people will assume that the other person has done something bad and not actually realizing that there's this seething deceitfulness that Chaz like operates in, which is very scary. I agree with Seaway. Like, if a guy can go as far as, wanting to express how much he doesn't like you by buying another rose, what is it called? A petrified flower? I don't know what it is. I think he can poison you for real. Like, I think that's so true. I don't think you need to be that, what was the word? Like, he had an agenda. And I think what worries me is it seems like he knew he was not going to pick Vanessa. I think he knew that she wasn't the pick anyways, but he played along for a very long time, which is sad because if you're a real, honest, integral man, as you claim you are, you would have told her a long time ago that actually this is not working because of X, Y, and Z, because maybe your behavior is not something that I'm aligned to anymore. But he continued playing and saying, I'm not too sure, I'm not too sure. So far as wanting to choose Patrice over her when he's not really had any relationship or connection with Patrice. So that shows me that there's something wrong with him. And I think maybe that's why he's single at 47. What worries me is there's a lot of guys like Chess around and people just don't understand. They'll be like, oh, he's a good guy. He's got a good job because we've allowed success to sort of be the deciding factor for somebody's, like, and we've overlooked their characters and their, misdemeanors and their inabilities to really hold a relationship because everybody kept saying he has a good house and a good car. But clearly he doesn't know how to communicate. Clearly he doesn't know how to hold a relationship. And clearly he's still stuck in the nitpicking and the pettiness. Because you can't be in a relationship and you always want to catch somebody or self-preserve. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you can't be about you. Because I think even in his last comment, he said something about him, like she wasn't doing something for him. And she said that's the reason why, because it's all about you. And I don't think he's ready to be with anyone. And it's scary because a lot of people will not see his issues because he really comes across and presents himself very well. But yeah, I feel sorry for Vanessa, though she's also hard to feel sorry for, which is a hard place to be. But I think she's a lovely girl. Maybe he's also made her have a wall up because he's very challenging, because you can't pinpoint what it is you don't want, because he will really lure you in, but at the same time he's also not giving you everything. So he's playing a game.
So, I think, I think there's some valid points in that, Penny, and that it probably takes a little while to get to know Chaz before you see some of his flaws that he has. But I think he can't hide that long, because he was starting to fold in the house, and that's why we saw what we saw, and him having that emotional moment when he cracked under pressure because he was being held accountable. So people like that, who on the surface everything is good, and they have some good qualities, but they're really maybe not fully mature in some areas of how to deal with people, relationships, how to maturely handle when things don't work out. You're gonna eventually see it. So I think you'll spot a Chaz. You may not at the first meeting, but once you get under the hood and get to know him, and that's what Vanessa was starting to suss out, is she was starting to see the cracks in the foundation, and she was asking him questions, and that's why he ran off, because he didn't like the pressure, he didn't like those questions, because they were making him be accountable for his actions. Now to her, I'm sorry, nobody can make you be who you're not. So she is who she is, and Chaz is who he is. So he's not making her be anything. She is who she is based on a collection of her experiences, but he's not making her be something. And I think sometimes we, unfortunately let women off the hook by saying men make them do this. He made her do that. No, she made a choice to do something. It could have been in response to something he did, but he didn't make her do it. She made a choice to do what she did, and she is who she is, and she can work on it. She could change just the same way that Chaz needs to work on it. We can't blame Vanessa for how Chaz shows up. That's how he shows up. So I just wanted to kind of like elaborate on that a little more.
Again, Sean, that there's some relationships where some people bring out a different side of you, like the worst side of you. And it's not to say that they're making you, but in the sense of, and this is the worrying part, I think, about when you date somebody who's toxic, you end up becoming toxic. And this is why, like, I would, you kind of have to stay away from people who are toxic, because in the end, even when you're making an argument to friends or people and you're like, this is what he's done, but then when you retaliated, it's a response to that. And then people are like, but between the two of you, I don't know who's right or wrong. And you saw that even with Maya and Laron, like some people just bring out the worst in you. And maybe that's also a signal to say that you're not meant to be for each other. But I think some people just bring out the bad side of you that you probably you didn't even know you had, or you haven't tapped into until you met that person, which is a shame, but I think that's possible.
What's the song At Your Best? You Are Love. A lot of times you're a mirror image of the person that you're with. So if that person is highly toxic, a lot of times to get their attention, we start to mirror their behavior and we start doing those things. Now, we were just saying that in the chat, me and Nun, we were talking about Vanessa being an act. Well, that's what she's been doing. She's been presenting one side of herself through this whole thing. And off camera, unfortunately, both of them been seeing the true people off camera. And they both realize when we get on camera, you're acting. And this was a presentation of one person trying to outact the other. Unfortunately, for Chaz, he decided he wanted to go the villain route in it. And Vanessa maintained her stance on her character throughout. Now, had Chaz decided to stay the course with Vanessa and stay on par, they both would have just separated and we all would have been looking like, well, what happened? Why they just didn't work out? This is weird. We'd have thought nothing of it, but we'd have just sat here and here just like, that's weird. They seem so perfect for each other. They seem right for each other. Why they didn't make it? Had they just been like, you know what, I've decided to go a different direction or whatever. But thankfully enough, Chaz can't hold frame for long. So he showed his ass. Or whatever. And unfortunately for him, that's why the phone allegedly got hacked. so he can show Vanessa was acting all along with him or whatever. But however, this is the corporate side of Vanessa. She works as a flight attendant. This is what she do all day. So she's going to present herself at her best all the time. Chaz, he doesn't probably have to present himself at his best at his job. So this is not an act that he can maintain for a long time. So for him, he was in a losing game no matter what. And, you know, though I like the petty attempt because my little petty side is in full flame right now during Aries season. It's a fire season, so it's petty season for me. It was a good attempt, but it was lackluster. I'm sorry. I've said it several times. When he gave that speech, it was just lackluster. And I was just like, you could have just gave her the dead flower and not said anything or whatever. It probably came off a little bit better. But Chaz is going to lose his game 9 times out of 10 because Vanessa carries around her representative day in, day out. Even off screen right now, she's still running around with her representative. It's just a part of her everyday job. Unfortunately for her, throughout the show, and if you take enough travel, you be on enough customer service flights or whatever and stuff like that, you work in customer service, you know when a person is really not happy about being at work that day, opposed to the days that they are happy. So had he left well enough alone, we would have actually realized Vanessa was acting this whole time without the help of releasing any outside information. But of course, people got to get ahead of the enemy. And so he had to release the information before this came out and hope that we would take it easier on him and look at Vanessa crazy. He just did her a favor at the end of the day.
I think one other thing is I've been. Oh, okay, go ahead, Coach. Sorry.
No, I don't have anything to say. I was going to say I hear you. Go for it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, as I've been listening, I think the other part of it is birds of a feather flock together. You know, Chaz and Laron have been running pretty thick, and I think that kind of like, oh, let's kind of figure out how we're gonna look good, and knowing that this was the last moment on cameras, I think they kind of sat back and said, what's a way that we can kind of, you know, maybe Laron helped him with it. Or maybe, you know, that it's that same kind of mindset. I want to make sure, you know, hey, listen, I get my last lick in, you know, and this is going to be the way to do it. So I guess the petrified rose, she could have kept it and used it for potpourri. Because I'm not sure what his plan was in that, or what, like, that took some level of thought, but I don't know like how he wanted it to hit. Like, what was that supposed to hit? Like, tell her she's dead inside, the relationship is dead? Like, okay, you both didn't choose each other. So yeah, for me, I understand why we need to do performative things of that nature, you know, when relationships don't work out. And I think, you know, to be honest, that kind of troubles me a little bit with some of the things that I've seen transpire with the Ready to Love people. You know, and it does happen in relationships too, but it's like, listen, sometimes relationships are not going to work out. And people have to have a little bit of self-confidence and just be like, look, I may not have liked how things worked out, or I don't like what they said, but have enough self-confidence to know you can pick yourself up and move on. Because all it says is the opposite, is that you're really hurt. You're so hurt that the person doesn't want you. You're so hurt that the situation didn't work out the way you thought it would have. Whether it was you wanted to break up first or not, you're still hurt because it didn't play out the way you wanted it to play. So you want to find a way to make them feel how you feel. And I just think at a certain point, we got to do better. And we as just people in general. It's like, look, it don't work out, keep it trucking. Why you got to do something silly to try to make her feel away? You know, move on, build a bridge. Women, you know, women and men, we're like buses, you know. This one don't work, another one's coming, trust me. So I just wish people would stop with the antics.
Yeah, and that's why I would say I'm happy that I know both. I can say, Kojo for sure. I won't speak on what Sean's done. I don't want to speak out of turn, but I do appreciate men holding other men accountable and kind of being able just to have conversations like when we had on the public platform about Laron taking down Maya's pictures. I feel like it's a very slippery slope on how folks are dealing with breakups and disappointments. Like, you can't forcibly hold on to people and things just because you're upset. Like, rejection is a part of life. We all will be rejected. Things will not go our way, right? But I think in the midst of like things not going our way, how you act, definitely, like Sean said, it says more about you than it does about them. Because honestly, if things weren't working out with Vanessa, like I said before, all Chaz had to do was just say that and walk away. I do believe, though, that there was a lot of shenanigans behind the scenes. I think both of them were doing a lot of fakery behind the scenes. And I do think that's the reason why the stuff on camera just ain't kind of feeling good. Some ain't really feeling right. And I think both the men and the women on this panel, we know that we can dislike Chaz, but we do know something is not necessarily right all the way around. But I don't know. I just feel like we're supposed to get to a certain point of elevation. These are conversations that I expect to be having with people in their 20s. I just don't understand this stuff at this point. Like, we're supposed to grow and we're supposed to learn. And it's a little, I don't know. I expect a little more. I don't know why I expect more.
Well, you expect more because people run around on people's platforms talking about we need to be uplifting as a community and uplifting the Black man and this, that, and then, you know what I'm saying? When we get to talking this speech, but we're doing this type of stuff, of course we expect more, but we get less. So
that part, Jay, that part. What Black man should we be supporting here, Chaz, with the pettiness? Yeah, no, we expected more from him.
Well, I think y'all, you know what? This is the problem. And we're gonna give some of these women some grace here because and watch, I know y'all ain't ready for this, but Chaz and Laron are so manipulative, and Chaz in particular, he's using whatever type of attractiveness, his money, whatever he has, and he picks very vulnerable women who are not used to getting the attention from him, even if it's platonic attention, even if it's just like, I'm gonna sit and have a conversation. I've seen him do it. He knows how to be like, oh, hey, beautiful, hey, just even in the YouTube sphere, trying to see if that's going to move the needle to get the women to not speak bad about him. He's a charmer. And the reason why I say give grace, which y'all know I don't want to do about particular people, but he is picking out people that he knows he can manipulate, even platonically. And they're putting on their cape for him. And that's the saddest part. It's like he's manipulating them too. He knows what he's doing. That's why they're going around talking about protect this Black man, whatever, because he's trying to charm them. It's actually sad. It's actually sad. And he knows what he's doing.
Anyway, some of them he didn't even have to work for. They came to him. That's the part that he's probably using to his advantage, because Patrice threw herself to him and the other women too. So it's also something there to say about us being really enamored with people's things, because he probably hasn't had to work on his character because he's always had the car, the money, and he put so much emphasis on that. That's his identity, because he knows that's what gets the women going, right? Because half of the women he didn't have to do much, because that guy doesn't really do much, right? Half the time the conversation is probably not even as interesting. It's more about poems that are just not even, I mean, I don't know. They get some girls excited. They really don't do for me, but
I mean, I think this is why, and this may be unpopular, but it won't be if you hear me out. This is the reason why Kevin Samuels was really doing the Lord's work when he was trying to explain. A lot of women are getting duped by Chaz because they think all these unicorns exist. They don't. Now, is there a George Clooney from time to time? Are you a mall is the question. But are there George Clooney's from time to time? Yes. But is the average man you're meeting who's in his late 40s and 50s, not married, no kids, with money, actually a catch? Or is the probability that something's actually very, very wrong with them? People need to use their noggin. 47. However, I think he's 47. No kids. Relatively attractive. Whether y'all want to tussle over that, I'm not going back and forth with y'all about that. I'm just talking about most average, but people would say he's attractive. Some of y'all probably wouldn't. That's on y'all, right? With money. Y'all just think he's on Ready to Love for what? Why y'all think he on here? Let's use our noggins. Stop thinking you finna get just a miracle. That's why everybody losing money on the lottery. That's why I'm losing money on my sports betting parlays. Everybody think we gonna hit a lick. No. No. The odds are no. That man is single with money for a reason. Going around talking about he wealthy. Please.
My mom says if it looks too good to be true, it probably is too good to be true, honey. There's something wrong.
No, I can't use Denzel. Denzel is married. I used George Clooney because he was one of the people who met, was a bachelor for a really long time. And when he met his now wife, they legit hit it off. They have a family and they're living a beautiful life. But the average person is not him. So I think we also have to take accountability. Next time you see a person like Chaz, lead glass empty. Don't lead glass half full. Lead empty. Your default should be something the hell is wrong with this man. And then make him prove that something ain't wrong with him. Try that way.
We'll now have a selection from the Deacon. Go ahead, Deacon.
Now, I'm kind of with you, but I just couldn't follow you all the way off the cliff. So I think we shouldn't enter into relationships with people from a negative place, right? So we don't want to have to make them, dig themselves out of a hole to get to one before they even start getting with us. So I do understand that. That would be the only point I disagree with. But what I do agree with is there's a lot of red flags there. There's definitely some red flags with Chaz, and it's just about the inconsistency. And I wouldn't say poor, weak women, they don't know what they're getting into. No, every one of these women in this cast is very highly intelligent, and y'all women will tell us in a second, y'all are highly educated, y'all make more money, y'all do better, you're smarter, we're dumb. So you can't miss Chaz. If you can see him coming, use that intelligence, use those degrees, use your common sense and your worldly knowledge to see him coming, because trust me, he's not Batman. You're not gonna miss him in the Knights of Gotham. He's very much the Joker. So you can see him screaming loud and clear, or whatever character he is. I mean, I know, Jay, don't get into the weeds with me in the dark arts. I'm not saying he's the Joker and
I'm not even giving you dark arts. He just not crafty enough for the Joker. Okay.
I'm saying appearance wise, when the Joker steps on the scene, you can see them. I didn't want to call him a clown and be like totally rude, but that's what I'm trying to say. Like when you walk down the street, you see a clown, it's a clown. Right? You see the Joker walking at you with all the makeup and the face and the clothes, you're gonna see it. Sometimes he might be able to fool you with some of his wit, but you're gonna see him. You'll definitely see Chaz. He's gonna let you know who he is. You just have to pay attention, and that's all. Vanessa found out too. That's why she was able to smartly choose herself. She found out she might have dipped her toe in the waters a little too early, too soon, but who amongst us is perfect? Nobody's perfect. And unfortunately, she probably miscalculated him, because you don't send somebody like him a voice note, because then his phone might get hacked and then you get exposed. So, that was probably her main mistake, is don't be sending voice notes to people whose phones are susceptible to hacking.
No, she probably want her white husband back at this point. And if she do, I wouldn't blame her. After all of this, she better go back to her white king, because I know she done. She done figured it out.
Nah, she can't go back to him, because see, she said too much. Again, sometimes she trying to be cute, talking about I want to be revolutionary. I need to be revolutionary. She gonna have a hard time trying to open that door open. He's gonna be like, "Oh, I'm revolutionary enough for you now, baby."
But what our girl say, Sean? Y'all get the same black man.
Oh, that's Cynthia G, right? She probably is like, he wasn't no different.
But she may get that same. She may have got that same white man. Y'all saw the one from Selling Sunset. White man that cheated on her. That's why she ran down to divorce court. So I don't know. The man may just be a man at this point. Don't know what to say.
I think Vanessa need to look up in that mirror, and I think a lot of times people they struggle with that, and that's on both sides of the fence. When relationships fail, they think, oh, I need to widen the dating pool. Oh, I need to go to a black, if I'm black, I need to go to white. If I'm white, I need to do this. No, 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 no. You need to look in the mirror and see what was your role in the demise of the relationship. And I don't see Vanessa ever being self-reflective, telling us what is she working on other than trying to get somebody more revolutionary. What have you worked on? What are the things that you're changing from a relationship standpoint? I don't care if you at an empowerment concert, talking about, you want to uplift the women's, that's great. But what are you doing to change for a relationship? How are you going to be a great partner? And again, I think we got to spend a little bit more time on this, because people come to relationships talking about what they want, but what are you willing to give? Because that is what's going to help you maintain a longer relationship. It's that reciprocity and the giving, not just what you're looking to obtain, how you want to be kept, how you want a soft life. All those things are great, but what do you want to be of service to for the person that you're in a relationship with? Because that's going to get you a better outcome. And how have you learned from your past relationship failures to do better?
We have a
Yes,
relationship coach
Deacon.
in the house, guys. We have a relationship expert actually at this point, Sean.
That's Deacon for you.
Amen and hallelujah. Listen,
He
and
on
by
God's
trial and
payroll.
fire, listen, a divorce will force you right to that wall. I done slid down a wall or two, I'm telling you.
But I mean, since Sean done opened that door on Vanessa and stuff, that's what I was talking about. When we start hearing those images that we are trying to avoid, every time Chaz brought up something, it was, well, you do this too. Well, you do that too. You cannot be that petty voice that's always looking to one up the person or get back for something that they do in a relationship. And that's a big flaw that Vanessa does have herself. She can never take accountability for her part in anything. Even when she gets to the point of just talking one-on-one with Chaz about how she feels he's moving, it's always the women feel this way. It's never, well, I see you moving this way and I don't like it. It's the women feel this way. Sweetheart, you cannot speak for all these women all the time. You're not their representative. You're not their Angela Davis. You're just not their person. Okay. Like, sit down sometimes and speak for yourself. If you don't like the way the person is moving because he has his options, just tell him that you don't like it. You cannot be speaking for all these other women that you're competing with at the end of the day. Let's not forget that you're literally competing with these women, so they can tell you whatever they want to tell you or whatever. But when you run and tell that back to him, is that actually how you feel about the situation? Or is you repeating something that they're telling you, or you're just trying to jumble it up so you don't seem as insecure about it, but you're really bothered by it? And on top of it, just like he told her, hey, you didn't come check on me. Well, you didn't do this when you ran out. Yes, I didn't do that when I ran out the house. But at the same time, I'm telling you in this moment, we're talking about you, which you didn't do. Let's stay focused here for a hot second. And I think that's a problem that Vanessa does have and strive with in her relationships, that she can't stay in that moment of taking accountability for the parts that she play in some of the things that she does. And we know that's Chaz's biggest thing too, because he's fight or flight real quick. And most of the time he's flying out of there. So the problem is when you have those two type of people combined, neither one of them is going to sit back and say, you know what, I was wrong for what I did. It's always going to be you. And at the end of the day, they were never going to be a very good couple for each other because neither one of them could take accountability for their own personal actions.
I would say I struggled with Vanessa because for me, she's also a Debbie Downer. Like, she always had this complaining spirit, like just always nagging. Like, she looks like the type of person you're just not going to have fun with. And I think that's also annoying for people just in general, or even for guys, I'm sure. There was just something that she wasn't happy. And I think where Patrice maybe had an upper hand compared to her. And this is it was interesting to watch Patrice maneuver through all of this. I think her personality got her through. And I think for what I got from this season is the power of personality, because, Patrice was probably not the woman people would think would have so many men, but she did, because she was just always lively, always positive. And I don't think Vanessa has that. She really likes to moan a little bit. Yeah, and that got on my nerves myself, outside of everything else.
All right, I love that. That was good, solid, good conversation that you spent on Chaz and Vanessa. Since we're still talking about heated things, let's talk about this Maya and why did I mix their names?
You're making them a couple again.
Not Myron. Myron.
Like Myron.
Myron.
Liam. I don't know what's going on with me. What's you guys' thoughts on Maya and Laron, their situation? It was only a few minutes on the screen, but they are always an impact. Jay looks like Spirit's about to take her away, so go on, sis. Talk to us. Give us some of that.
I was really going to wait to last because I know you want to be on this stance of protect Laron.
By all means.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, listen, I'm with you up until a point. Maya should have never entertained him for pursuing her. None of that. That's always going to be a problem, because I look at it like, if somebody is pursuing you, or if you're pursuing somebody and that person doesn't really want you back, no matter which way it's going, when that person does not want you back in the pursuit, it's always going to be a problem. So her wanting to be pursued by people that she don't actually want is a problem, because now she put herself in a space for the foolishness. So I agree with you on that part. That was where her downfall was. But this whole blow up in this space, this particular episode, I'm sorry. I can't stand in the foolishness of Laron's delusion on a lot of things, because what she literally was saying in that moment is, you want me just to tell you everything is fine, despite what I heard, didn't hear, what was relayed to me. You want me to tell you everything is fine. I'll run off into the sunset with you, be your woman and stuff. And I cannot give you that. And he said in that same exact moment is, yes, I do. He heard what he wanted to hear out of that statement, which was, be my girl. I will be your lady. That's the problem right there. That's the problem that I'm having with Laron. He hears the parts that he wants to hear and not the full thing. And that's always going to be a problem with no matter who engages him, as long as he's pursuing them and he wants them, as long as they say the littlest thing to him, that's enough for him to hook on and say, yes, that's my lady. At the end of the day, that was never his girl, for him to even have that reaction that he had at the club. I don't care if you brought her to the club, you took her to the club, she drove herself to the club, you invited her to the club. You're in a club environment where people are going to approach and walk up to anybody. If you wanted a personal one-on-one setting, you should have had that. You should have took her there and stopped trying to be cheap. It still cost you. It cost you even more at the end of the day. So you were so busy trying to worry about your pockets. And listen, it cost you your pockets and the potential woman that you had at the end of the day, because she got to see your true self. I'm not saying, and listen, before y'all start going there, I'm not saying Maya's right, because I just told y'all she should have never engaged with this man in the first place. And I'm going to get on that part in a second. However, Laron, let it go. She don't want you, leave it alone. She's calling you childish because this stuff right here. You won't have an actual conversation with her, but then you start chasing her. When she's calling you on your stuff, you can't handle it in the moment because you're too busy worried about if I'm gonna look like a simp on TV, these people gonna think about me. But we bottom feeders, so why do you even care about what we think about you? Let's remember that. Okay, none of our opinions actually matter at the end of the day, as you put it. Yet somehow these thoughts are pre-programmed in your brain about what we're going to say with you. And what she is saying in this moment is, I can't be with a person that's that insecure, that already has pre-notions of what people are going to think about them at the end of the day. Now at the end of the day, Maya, she want to go where the money resides. I don't know where you want to put it. You don't want to be labeled a gold digger or whatever and stuff like that. Gold digger is not a bad thing. It's not a lazy job. You got to work hard to be a gold digger. I'm not going to hold you. But at the end of the day, where the money resides is not always where you should be. Like they say, it's not always what they have to say. It's fool's gold or whatever and stuff like that. It's not always good where the money is. All money ain't good money. When you play dominoes, that's the rule. All money ain't good money. Sometimes you shouldn't take it. You should have left Laron alone and looked at his character. Let him pursue you a little bit longer, but watch how he pursues you and how he acts in this pursuit. Had you paid attention to all of that, you would have known that this is not the man for me, despite what he can bring to me, or what kind of benefits he can give to me, or what positions or places he could put me in and around people, because he don't know how to handle the person that I am in my position. Okay. I'm sorry if I'm a social butterfly, and quote unquote, this is her words. If I'm a social butterfly, I cannot be with a person that's super possessive. That's just it. At the end of the day, a person needs to have trust in any relationship that you walk into. If you don't have trust, it's not going to be nothing. On top of it, if you are having this many arguments in the courting, dating, friendship phase of a relationship, let it go. Stop giving the second, third, fourth, fifth, umpteen chances to a person who has showed you the first time they're not going to be who they need you to be. That's Maya's biggest downfall. Okay, if we are to believe how many times that Laron got chances, that is her fault. Because if she sat here and keep giving this man chances after one another, after he keeps doing everything to her that she doesn't like, baby, I can't defend you that much. I can't say much to you because you the fool. You the fool. He delusional, but you a fool. So I don't know what you want us to do in this situation. I'm glad she chose herself at the end of the day, but listen, the man that got up here and told us that he still be talking to her up until we got into the business. So if this take way in May and you still been talking to her all the way up until February when the show aired, that's still a damn problem. That is not our problem. That is not his problem. That is a you problem, miss, because you keep giving him the opportunity to play up in your face and keep treating you the way that you don't want to be treated. So I don't know. I don't know what to tell these people. They both young and dumb and in love right now, but I hope this experience teaches them all a lesson.
Yeah,
I don't know if they love. You go, Siwe.
You go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if they love. I think it's when you PT date, when you date somebody because you feel sorry for them. And I think she learned the hard way. Because his ego and obviously the fact that he's boisterous, I don't think she expected him to kind of get ahead of her in a way. I think she was just hoping she could, keep him around, pat him on his back, make him feel good, go out on dates with him, let him pay, have a good time, but not really take him seriously. But obviously he shows out. He's one of those guys who are just in your face, which was too messy. So I don't think they're in love. And I'm not saying that's right. I'm not saying, and I could be wrong with her approach, but for me, it just seems like she was PT dating. Like she didn't really like him. She wasn't really into him. And the hard part about Laron is his ego is just, I think the term is right, childish. He is a little bit childish. I know he hates it, but he acts childish. The fact that she was talking to you, trying to communicate, and then you get up without actually saying, hey, let me just have a minute right now, I'll get back to you. You would have got a different response to you getting up. And then when she gets up, you're also like, he doesn't understand how his behavior impacts other people, especially in a relationship. Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think they liked it. I think he liked her, but I also don't know if he liked her for real, if he liked her for the image, really. Because a lot of the things he does, because if you like the girl, then you're coming on every bloody platform talking about it. He has a point to prove, and I don't know what it is. And that to me is unattractive, I think.
I do agree with most of the things you guys are saying. I also think that we even saw on the live when he was up there with us last week with Kojo, Jay, and I, and when Sean came up there, he pulls you in, and then he acts like he has sense, and then he doesn't. Then he acts like he has sense, and then he doesn't. I also think that was part of the problem, where sometimes he will act like he's gonna apologize, he's gonna do different, and then he cuts up. Then the next day he's acting good. Oh, she my girl, I'm gonna do right. And then he cuts up. It's like a roller coaster with him, even on YouTube. So I can't imagine what she's been dealing with this entire year. Because it's push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. It's exhausting. I think it's a combination of that. I think it's a combination of slightly pity dating. But more so, I feel like it's a combination of knowing that you should be able to do better than someone, but feeling like this is who you should be given a chance to. I think it's more that than anything. And then she kind of is realizing, this is not really a person that I should be given a chance to, but you're still keeping him along for the ride for whatever reason. I know before I indicated, Jay has said this, it looks like it's because of what he can financially bring. I think that's misconstrued as like just gold digging, but what it really means is this man is financially on your level, so you let you or higher or whatever, so you allowed it to drag out maybe longer than you would have if he didn't have any money. That's really what it means. Doesn't mean you don't have your own money, like Jay said. It just means if a man has some type of financial means, you're willing to entertain it longer, even though your gut is telling you that the vibes are off and the push and pull is off. And you know you should be able to do better. So, from the way Maya's been reacting to him recently, I think she fully understands the repercussions of one messing with a dude that's this insecure, that's doing all this pushing and pulling, and who you know is not on your level. Because now we're seeing the repercussions of that. You see the way he's acting. I hope she never does this again. Because she's a cute girl. She's going to get a lot of men that's going to want her attention. You have to be very, very selective. You cannot let these people in because they're going to act like Laron. So.
Go for jail.
Yeah. I think Laron having snaked his way to this connection with Maya and finally getting what he wants in getting her to himself, getting to have her to himself. Man, I don't really feel any sympathy for him because of the way he went about it. But he did all of that and she never liked him. She liked the attention. She liked the drinks. She liked the social aspects, like going out to dinner, things like that. The dates, pity dates or otherwise. But she weren't feeling that man from the get-go. And I don't think she necessarily wanted to let him down or cut off that supply of attention and dates and things like that. I don't think she's a malicious person. I don't think she wanted to burn the bridge. I think she just wanted to keep him at a level where it keeps his hopes up, but she knows deep down it's never going to go further than just going out to hang out or whatever. The thing that perplexes me, though, is, like you guys have alluded to, is if filming stopped last summer or whenever, and she's already walked away from the process, knowing that she's not feeling him, he's a hothead, he's temperamental, he's volatile. Man, continuing to hang out with him all the way up until this show aired, that's crazy to me. Because you're putting yourself at risk of his volatile temper pretty much every time you go out, and his insecurities might be on display. You never know how he's going to react. I'm not saying he's violent. I'm not saying he's anything like that, but I'm just saying from the way that he comes across, he is different level petty. And he has an anger problem. And like I've said previously, I don't think the insecurity and the alcohol are a good mix. So going out to dates in a bar where you're going to have drinks, he may buy you some drinks, and then you feel like you can go and talk to other people. You're perfectly allowed to because it's a club. But he's the type of person that's going to react to it. And it's going to be a negative and hostile situation. So I don't understand why she continued to hang out with him. Completely perplexed. She can get lots of attention from other guys. She knows she's not feeling him. So why keep him around?
Go for it. Who wants to go for it? I know somebody going.
No, Sean just got back, so he has to go. So I'll wait after Sean.
Yeah, this whole situation is giving me a migraine that I didn't need to have, because it's trying to work through a web of lies. And I don't know. I mean, I don't think Maya is an innocent, because she entertained Laron probably for, not even probably, you know, she did entertain him for too long. I don't know what the time frame is. I think we're all trying to piece it together. I just have a very difficult time believing most of what Laron says to be true, because at the end of the day, several things that he says have been proven to be untruths, whether it's the piece of the group chat that he gives to somebody, and then there's a whole nother group chat where he's talking about other people, but supposedly he's friends with those folks. You know, or, you know, what else can we try to like muck through? They were together, but then they're not together. You know, so I just really have a tough time believing some of the things that he says. I think what I've been able to glean from some of the interviews he's done and some of the things that he's said is that he might actually believe some of the things that are happening. So it's very difficult to contest that when the person believes it. So he probably believes that they were in a relationship and that he really had a chance, because you see sometimes when people have delusions of grandeur, they believe it. You know, we saw Risa Tisa. And I mean, at least she got to the point where she was honest about the fact that she was in the land of Delulu when it came to her situation. Now, did she have a relationship with him? Sure, she did. Yeah. But it was built on a house of lies. And some of the things are lies that she told herself because of her own issues. And I just happen to believe that Laron does lie to himself sometimes, because when he goes on this whole narrative about, I'm not a simp, I'm from New Jersey, it's a persona. That's a persona. I told him when he was on here, that's not you can't just call a behavior attribute and claim it as a whole state. Bro, that's you, and you need to do better. If a relationship doesn't work out, whatever reason it doesn't work out, you need to move on. And if you want to use excuses, or you want to say, well, she called me and she took my gift, all those things can be true, but you still are hanging on to something, and you have to look at the evidence. So he has to look at the evidence. Does she really give him the quality time of somebody that wants to barely be with you? You might love her. You might have been willing to jump off the bridge for her, as you say. But at the end of the day, is she willing to do the same for you? What has she shown you that she wants you? the same way that you want her back. Every time he seems to be fighting for his life when it comes to something. We saw him begging and pleading at the bridge before he wasn't at the bridge, but they was at the park, right? When they was at the park, he was begging, baby, I'm begging, baby, I'm begging, begging, baby. You know, it's like if all you doing is begging, then you ain't got nothing to do. You don't have a relationship. He was on this panel talking about y'all gonna make us, y'all gonna make me lose my girl. No, you gonna make you lose your girl. Matter of fact, you already lost her. She's gone. She's gone, bro. It's like, and I'm not saying this to be rude. I know he watches the channel. He's a supporter. Coach is little bro to him. I love it. It's great. You know, let's clap it up for brotherhood. But we got to also be honest. We got to be honest. You know, you got to be able to build the bridge and move on. I said the same thing to Chaz when it came to Vanessa. Very much different situation, but it's the same ending. If it don't work out, you got to know how to move on. And actually, your biggest concern is looking like a simp, looking like a punk. You look like a simp. You look like a punk when you get on and you keep begging and pleading, asking, looking like you ain't really got something. When you say you got it behind the scenes, talking about all the chicks you have, you actually look the opposite. When people don't, I don't know, some people don't realize that. When you run around saying, oh, I'm rich, yeah, you don't look rich. You don't look rich when you do that. You don't look like you get a lot of girls when you say you get a lot of girls. And actually, when you act like you don't get a lot of girls. Because if you got a lot of girls, what you would do is, if Maya's moving funny, and we're going to just take your word for truth, right? When you know you got another chick coming down the line, right? You're not going to sweat it. You got other baddies that are badder than Maya, because that's what he told us using his words. Then it's going to be no sweat off your back, because you're going to be like, hey, a player's going to play. And there's going to be another one another day. So I'm going to just move on, because guess what? You blocking my next chicks that want to come to me. You actually standing in my way, baby girl. So you know what? Thank you. Thank you for making room. That's what you need to do. You need to move around. And that's the problematic thing, because when you don't move around, when you continue to carry on, you hold on, you begging, you pleading, it don't get you nothing. And you know what it actually does, Laron? And I mean, I'm not a woman, but I know quite a few. Is that you dry up the cooch, Laron. You dry up the cooch. So if you wanna open up that cooch to be ready for you, to be receptive, you want those walls to be opening for you, bro, I'm gonna give you a bit of advice. Move on. Because the more you publicly proclaim something for another woman that's in the street saying she don't want you, whether she wants you or not, but she in the street saying she don't want you, it's not making you look good, bro. It's not making you look good. So just stop, breathe, take a breath. You sometimes just gotta breathe, because we don't breathe enough. You breathe, and you be like, you know what, baby girl, you taught me a good lesson, and I'm gonna move on. I'm gonna wish you well. Give her a dead rose. I'll take the dead rose. Just go, because I want it to be dead. I'm tired. I'm just tired. I want it to be dead. I want it to move on. I know Maya has already committed to coming on the channel and interviewing with Kojo. So I can't wait to hear her side of it, whatever that side may be. You know, again, I feel like she's wrong for even entertaining him, because just like Jay said, you entertain somebody like that, they're going to build a whole 50-part series. It's Risa Laron. It's Risa Lisa Laron part 2. Who the F did I go on Ready to Love with? Why the F did I go on Ready to Love is the new Laron series. So I'm going to end on that note.
I'm going to give a moment of silence just for this. After that benediction that Sean gave, just a moment of silence before I go on. All right, now that relationship is dead. All right. I just want to get into this little part, because everybody, listen, I told y'all, Maya's going where the money resides. But here's the thing. I cannot play a person who is not willing to pay to play or be played. Just like, shout out to Mary for 10. She said it herself. Maya didn't go after Chaz because Chaz peeped Maya already. Okay? Laron was an easy target. At the end of the day, y'all want to sit here and say that she played Laron. No, Laron played himself. That's why he is so mad right now. That's why a lot of other people are mad, because they've been in Laron's position of playing themselves at the end of the day. He lied to himself to believe that he was doing something in favor of the girl to get her vote for him. If she is running around here, if he can literally prove text, and they have text messages, text voicemails, I don't know, somebody tap into his phone right now and bring up evidence of her saying, I want this and I want that, do this for me, take me here, not suggestions, literally telling this man, I want these things or I will not talk to you, then you cannot accuse her of playing him. If he is going out of his own free will, his own fruition, to go and buy her things and saying, I need my lady, I need to keep my girl, I got to get my girl back, whatever the case may be, however he felt that he needed to get in Maya's good graces, if he did that at all on his own, that is on Laron. If he want to go and spend his whole ready to love check, blow the whole wad on her, that is on Laron. That is not on Maya. So stop trying to say that she played him. You cannot be played by anybody but yourself at the end of the day. You jump into the ring. You are now a contestant of the game. You are now a player. So you choose to play against yourself at the end of the day. If you did not see this woman coming and say, you know what, I need to peep her out a little bit more before I buy her anything. Let me decide if she even worth my time. Like Sean said, if she's giving me the quality time to invest in her, is there going to be a return on my money? Well, sir, you just made a poor investment into that girl. Okay. It's no other way about it. Like Sean just got through saying, if she didn't show you nothing, so why would you go and open up your pocketbooks for somebody? Okay. Especially when you're sitting here telling us how that you got all these bad bees everywhere. You can get this one. Your ex was better than the last one, the next one, and all this stuff like that. If this is not your regular routine, and I'm gonna go back to the same statement before, you would not be worried about being a simp for anybody if you got it in the first place. If you got it, it ain't tricking. You know what I'm saying? It's not tricking if you got it. So if you already have the money, you would not be worried about, oh, I am spending this amount of money on this person to get in her good graces. Did she ask you to do it? Now, if you can, I'm just going to say, if he can, I'll stand corrected. If he can sit here and prove, and without a shadow of doubt, I don't want no cockamamie text. I don't want the half text. I want the full thing from this date all the way to this date, that she has sat here and asked for every last thing that he has said on these panels and ran around all these platforms and told us that he done did for her. If she has literally asked for these things, not him volunteering, hey, the Drake concert is coming to town next week, do you want to go? So he can spend time with her. If he can sit here and show us this, then I would stand corrected and sit there and be like, okay, well, she used that man. But up until then, I cannot hold her accountable of using him at all if he is free willing to open up his pockets to spend his money up on her. That just sounds like a person who is going over to red light district to get them a little peep show and dropping the coin up in there and then get mad when the peep show closed down too fast. That is not the peep show's problem. And your coin wasn't stretching long enough. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying? Put a little bit more up in there. I don't know what to tell you.
Last comment on Laron. I think it's somebody who mentioned about women don't like, and I agree. I think there's something sexy about a man who can, not that women intentionally reject men, but when you see a guy and he can take rejection, there's something as a woman that makes you feel like, oh, why was he so okay with it? That makes you want to understand what's going on. And then that should, like, women are more likely to come back if they feel like a guy can handle rejection or can handle a no. I think there's something sexy and confident about that when men do that. So just a word of advice to Laron. This thing that he does when somebody says no or rejects him, that he goes back, you know those guys when you say, I don't want you, then they go back and be like, yeah, I didn't want you anyway. That's so unattractive. Please don't do that. Like, there's no way no one is going to come back at you. Like, there's no way.
Now, I will say this, Penny. Some men
Yeah,
might
some men.
take you on that second chance. You got one time to tell me no, and I'm gonna stand on business.
No, but I think that's attractive. I'll respect you, because even though it doesn't ever get to anything, I'll look back and be like, you know, that was a confident man. That's sexy. Like, respect that. But if I turned around and said no, and then you were like, yeah, I didn't want you anyways, I'm like, this is the reason I didn't want this. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
so
Yeah, but I think some guys, and that might have even happened with Laron, right? You get that first dismissal, and then you keep turning around. You know, you might get a little rebuff, and then you turn around and you keep going, or you keep pushing. You know, and then you think you're getting a little something. Hey, listen, sometimes women, you know, women have the right to change their minds, and they often do, right? So they might even just give you a little window. It might be a lonely night and they're bored, and they might let you in to the room. It doesn't mean you're there for a long time. So that's why I don't want nobody's crumbs. I don't want nobody's pity opportunity, because this is what you're going to always be doing. You're going to be in this position of being breadcrumbed. And I think that is likely what happened. You take a little bit, and then you're just gonna run with it. You do whatever little bit you get, whatever little tidbit it is. It's not that the person doesn't want you. You got to be able to read the signs. You got to be able to read the signs. She told him everything he needed to know and how she felt about him in that park. Now, if she did go against her better judgment to go back, and you thought you was going to have love, I think a lot of that's on you. And it's bad on her for thinking that you're going to take this guy who is all in or all out, because he's very much all in or he's all out. So when he's all in and all out, you see that energy and you're going to still entertain it. That's when you get the craziness. You're going to get 5 minutes in. I love her. Y'all are making us break up. Second girl, she ain't the baddest. She ain't all of that. You know, I get chicks. I got chicks. They lined up for me. Okay. Then that's the inconsistencies, because he's all in and he's all out. And I think that, unfortunately, Laron needs to settle into who he is. And I think that will come with time and doing some self-work. Once you get comfortable with who you are, everybody don't have to be a player. Everybody's not built for that. I'm not built for it. I'm a romantic. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had to get comfortable with who I am. And when I realized who I am, I go after the waters and the lakes that I'm used to. You go chasing them other waterfalls, you're going to get drowned, knocked out, tossed around. And that's why I stay in my lane, you know? And once I get the inclination, I'm not saying, oh, I've never been rejected. I have. But trust me, it's on, you get one good time. And the door, when the door shuts, it's like a vault. It's closed. I'm going to be nice. I'm going to be cordial. But we ain't going to be cracking that door for you to think, oh, you got an opportunity, or you're going, oh, Sean, this is coming up. I'm going to be in your town. Can we maybe hang out? No, I'm sorry. I'm not going to be free, you know, but if you go, let me know how it is. It's what you got to do.
Now y'all know you playing. Y'all know y'all playing. Now, I wanted to say, hey, I'm with you guys. I'm standing with you guys. I'm with it. You know, I understand where you guys are coming from. I totally get it. Okay.
What's with this sexy voice? What is with this sexy voice? What are we doing?
The fact that you think it's sexy is telling me the Holy Spirit's working.
He's trying to
in
get
you,
like
baby.
me. See, wait, don't let him fool. He's trying to reel
What?
you in.
Right. What is both of y'all doing today? Y'all are killing me.
Hold on now. Hold on. We got to get
Go
into
ahead.
this.
Go ahead, Kojo. Go ahead.
We got to get into this. I got you, Siwe. Now, let me just say this first and foremost. I totally understand what you mean about Laron and his behaviors. He fumbled the bag. You know, he messed up. You know, he caused his own issues. But we're going to suddenly dismiss Maya from the situation. You're saying that when someone's giving you gifts, at what point do we know that she didn't like him? At what point did we know that she didn't like him? Did she say that? If she did say it, then we do have to hold her accountable. Because first and foremost, you were going out with him on several occasions. Those were at least the pictures that we saw, right? So you was out with him because you was out in the club and you guys were there, right? So this guy you didn't like, okay? spending time with you, okay, and you know you don't like him, right? Then that would be classed as playing. It's just that simple. Like you like he got played, and he has to take the L. I agree, and he played himself because I don't like men leading with money. I've said this all the time. You play yourself when you lead with money, but you also have to look at the other angle, which is the person also played. Because if you weren't really interested in the person, you playing the person. Unless are we all agreeing that Maya actually was interested in him? Are we all agreeing? You just have to nod your head or just shake your head. You know what I mean? Like, are we agreeing that she liked him? Like, so, you know, I think a majority of us would be like, we don't think she liked him like that. So then she would have been playing
I cannot
him because if she
or deny.
you out of order, baby. But you know, and so the language is really interesting, right? We're saying he played himself. Well, let's reverse this, right? If this was a woman in this situation, would we be saying that she played herself and then not mention anything about the dude? No, we would mention the dude as well. We'd bring them both. It will bring them both before the courts. What we're doing right now is what happened with Jesus and the woman that the people accused. They brought the woman, but not brought the man. You know, and they drew in the sand line. Yes, we gonna go there.
No,
I'm gonna go there.
And no, once again, I was staying 10 toes down on just bringing her up to account of playing herself. Y'all know, and I've been accused of victim blaming several times before. So y'all know I was saying that. I can't speak for everybody else now. I'm not Vanessa. I can't speak for y'all. Y'all got to speak up for yourselves.
People think that I have an allegiance. I don't have an allegiance to Laron. That's why he got 4 or 5 videos. There's no allegiance there. What I am is I'm trying to see a multitude of different angles and different sides to certain things, right? Like at the end of the day, I've already said he played himself, and I agree to that. What I'm saying is, I think we do need to and it's not like, oh, Maya did so bad in playing him. No, the reality of the situation is, if you're accepting gifts or anything like that from a person you don't like, you are playing. That's the whole point. If you are accepting any kind of gifts going out of the person, knowing you don't like the person, then you are playing. That's all we're saying. So Laron is still has to be held accountable for his diabolical behavior, and it's not a cause and effect as to why she did what she did. At the end of the day, right? Maya did what she did because she wanted to do what she wanted to do. Like Sean was saying earlier on, women gonna do what they're gonna do, men gonna do what they're gonna do. They don't have to think about what other person's doing. I've already held Laron accountable, so this is not a biased view. I've held him accountable. Like, this is privately and publicly. So I don't have no fear of Laron. My thing is just saying, hey, look, I can see that, you know, in that situation, I brought up that clip of Maya saying that, oh, he don't really want me. I was like, baby, this guy's been chasing you for the longest. The guy was screaming and shouting because you were talking to another dude. You know the guy likes you. You know you've not been together, but you've been talking, getting together, going out places, accepting places to go, whatever, you know, going to concerts, when in between a whole entire time up into the show. Right? Up until the show aired. So clearly there's been some level of relationship in some form. Do you get what I'm saying to you? So that's all it is. I'm just saying, like, let's the language is quite interesting that we're saying he played himself, which is fair, you know what I mean? Then every woman that went come with Chaz played themselves too, you know what I mean? And I just wanted the language to be a little bit balanced. That's all.
We can't have the language balance because we didn't get the inside text. Sorry, coach. We didn't get the screenshot and all that stuff like that.
No, he put the pictures on. He put the pictures on Instagram.
No, but those
pictures where he's up in their neck.
But those pictures
could
be taken during the season. Those pictures could be taken during the season and stuff. I don't know when those pictures are taken. There's no time.
Okay. They might be, okay. So let's say they were taken for the season. You guys were doing stuff outside
of the show. Because he's also got pictures of him with a whole bunch of other chicks randomly.
Yeah, I agree.
And stuff. So I can't.
I'm not disagreeing. I'm saying okay. We don't know that it's definite timestamps because I don't know that.
Yeah, you got a little more inside info, so I see where you're coming from, but I don't have that. So I'm going.
No, it's not even according to the text or anything. Just simply that we're seeing the pictures where you're all up in her neck. So there's some kind of like in there because he's all up in your neck. You know what I'm saying to you? And you take a photo with it. So I got to look at it some type of way, right?
If I have to look at it that way, I didn't mean to cut you off, but if I have to look at it that way, I'm letting somebody all up on my neck, that means I kind of also like them to let them that close in my space too. You know what I'm saying?
So are we agreeing that Maya liked him then?
If I have to take those photos for true, and there's something about him she probably did like. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what it is. I'm still going to go with the girl. She might not like it, but I go where she goes, where the money resides. She likes the money or the benefits that he has for her. You know what I'm saying? She can come and argue me different. That's fine. But I don't know her or Laron to know anything different, because I just look at her as how quickly she switched from William to Laron. And it was just like, why you make such a big change when both men was literally pursuing you or whatever. And maybe she thought Laron might have bring more peace until he didn't too. I don't know, but I have to say there's something that was there. She might just like the whole pursuit of things, and when the pursuit no longer existed, maybe she don't like him anymore either. I don't know. Some people are weird like that too.
No. And Jay, that's, you know what? You've touched on something. And you know, when sometimes you're playing, your guilt can sometimes come. I'm not saying this is 100%, this is my theory. Your guilt can come out, right? Because what does she accuse him of? She accused him of, you don't really want me. You just want me to say I love you. So the one that, yeah, because sometimes when you're playing, your guilt transfers and how you project onto the other person. That's just my theory. I'm not saying that's 100%. I'm just offering another angle to the situation. It might not be. What's going on? I don't know if anyone, and I see Sean looking at me. So
I think I can agree with you saying that. Sorry, Sean, you going? I was just gonna say, I don't think it's fair that she gives mixed signals and mixed feelings. I think that's not fair on her part. I think there's something there where she has to own that she wasn't integral in being honest about where she was. And even when she was being honest, she was like, I just need to see where this is going. That's also leading somebody on. You're kind of making it seem like there is something there, but in your actions, when you're sitting down, you could see that there's space between the two of you. Like there's a lot of things that show that she was not interested, but she was also being open to the idea. And in her defense, maybe that could have been the case, that she was just trying to see where it was. I think where it becomes challenging is when you start now receiving gifts, knowing fully well you probably don't like him, going out with him like to events, maybe because you know he's going to get you into the best clubs. Because girls we do that. Like sometimes, like she said, she rolled up with people. It was not a date in her mind. She was like, I'm rolling up my girls. When it's at that moment and there's never been a one-to-one, when I'm calling my girls to come to an event with a guy that's meant to be mine, we're not exclusive. I think, and I hate to use her words, but you're a fun guy. And it's sad, but she's playing into what he is. He's a fun guy. He's the guy that gets us into spots. He's the guy that buys us drinks. And I think that frustrated him probably when he realized that, actually, girl, you're playing me. And now I'm going to expose you. Maybe that was his whole run. Maybe this is where he's at. He's like, I'm going to expose you for what you did in terms of pretending like you were actually with me when really you were just playing all along. For me, it's like, just remove us from the WhatsApp chat, because it's so messy and it's not necessary.
That's all we're saying.
And this is the crazy thing.
What she said.
Wait, hold on 1 second. So I think I just want to be clear, because I mean, if I was part of that, I very clearly said Maya needs to be held account for entertaining him for too long. Now, by entertaining him, I mean it's being with him and then, or hanging out with him, whether they were in a dating situation or a relationship or a situationship, whatever their agreement was, she entertained it for too long, because there came a time, we know his timeline, we don't know her timeline yet, but based on what she said when she did come in the comments recently, they've never been together, right? So never been in a relationship. So whatever time that she was entertaining him was too long, because it was long enough for him to make more of it than he should have. It was entertaining the gifts or anything that he gave her. That's where she miscalculated, because to me, this is why I don't get all bent out of shape about this. And I guess when you get of a certain age and stage and you like to do things, I like to do things. I like experiences. So if I'm going to date a woman, if we go out, we're going to do something nice. I may spend a few $100s. I've done it before. We spent the whole day, on a beach, on an island, doing a ferry ride. Hey, but I wanted to do it too. It was for me too. And it didn't work out. She didn't owe me. She doesn't owe me anything for doing that. It's something that I made an honest choice to do. Could she have said no? Yeah, she could have said no, but we enjoyed ourselves and we had a good time. So I just hate this notion of, if you're going to give somebody something and then things don't work out, it's like, oh, well, I gave you this. I bought you this. I bought you that. So now you got to, if you want to deal with transactional relationships, go where the transactions reside. And that way you can be guaranteed you're going to get what you're going to get at the end of it. Again, I led with, that's also, it's a tricky thing when that's how he leads. He leads with I can do this. He leads with an I can do that. And then I'm going to just wrap it up by saying we've socially hung out with a lot of ready to love people. Them being at the club and them buying a table is nothing. We've gone to DC, Houston. Tables have been bought for us. Sometimes we contributed to the tables. JC Way, none of the guys that did that expected anything from them. It was a good time. And that's how they treat each other. That's how they treat each other as well, especially if you're from their city. The people in DC, if you're from the city, they're cool with you and they're like, yo, I'm here at Park. Come through. I got a table. Bet, I'm here. That's how people roll. So I don't feel like, oh, so we should presume that because she showed up. And she showed up, from what I understand, with cast members. Sometimes people might be like, oh, I'm with my other friend. You know, can she come through? Yeah, come through. And it's like we have moved and navigated in those spaces with these same type of people from the show, and it's never been an issue. Somebody could be talking to another girl. You know, hey, I could have said, oh, hey, Kojo, case in point, we went out with a couple of people, you know, in DC the last time we was there. We called up 2 of our homegirls, come through. One couldn't come, one came. She was chilling with me most of the night. However, had she talked to another guy, I'm not flipping out. She didn't. Hey, she didn't, though. She did not. Let's be clear. She stood by your boy's side. She did not. She did not dance with anybody else, you know, perhaps Kojo, but that's it. You know, my brother. But hey, if she did, trust me, your boy would not have been flipping out. I would have looked to my left and my right and been like, okay, I see what time we on, and we'd have moved on. You know what I mean? Like, you have to navigate these. And I'm not a player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be a player. Say I'm a player. Say I'm up on all the game. No, I'm not. I'm not even gonna cap and try to act like I am. But I do know how to navigate with women. And if you know how to navigate with women, you are not going to get caught up in all this minutia. That's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, you bought this. Okay, you bought that. Well, bro, if you got it, then you got it. And if you don't got it, don't buy it, because you haven't sealed the deal of the relationship. You haven't sealed the deal of what you really want. So that's my issue with him. If you haven't sealed the deal of the relationship, don't get me wrong, because he don't come in here, oh, we did this. Yeah, but you still are at the end crying. Because if it was the little things that you got that you were happy with, then you would be about your business. You wouldn't be crying on our screens talking about, we broke up your relationship. Own broke up your relationship. So if you want a relationship, you need to do the things that are going to set you up with the woman that wants to be in a relationship with you in return. She clearly did not want that.
I'm not even mad at that. You know what I'm saying? True, I definitely hear that. I think there's a part to play that I think we do need to. There's that gray area, right? Like, again, this is the reality of life, where it is dark arts, and the best dark artists are the ones that don't look like dark artists, right? It's taking advantage of the gray area, right? There's a gray area where people haven't said something, but you can feel their intentions. You can feel what they want, and you can feel what they desire. Right? It's almost like, as a guy, we know when a girl's feeling us, right? And she's doing a couple things for us, right? Now she baking and she want to cook for you. No one said nothing, right? No one said nothing. But at the end, you know, maybe it works out like the situation, right? You go out a couple of times, and it's just vibes. No one's really said nothing, right? But then the person starts feeling some type of way, right? And they feel like, you know, they were feeling you, and in that point, you know, you might not have been feeling them that same way, but you at a point knew that they were starting to feel you. Their intention and their desire was starting to come through, and you can feel it, right? And this happens to women a lot of times, right? I'm not saying that Maya's necessarily wrong. I'm just saying that, I'm just highlighting something as a bather. As men, they do this all the time. They play in what we call the gray area. When you don't define it and you don't say it, like you said, he don't have no jurisdiction to tell her about the club situation. It's merely a courtesy. But it's an unwritten rule, right? But if you feel like you had a connection where you were trying to get to a certain place, you're gonna feel some type of way. Now, he's not right to blow up the way he did. I've already said this. He had no jurisdiction to blow up in that particular way, because that wasn't your girl. Number two, you didn't come to the club with her alone specifically. Now we found that it didn't come out specifically with her alone, because when he originally told the story like a lie, it was a lie. He told it like as if he had invited her first and it was just them two, but it weren't. So obviously, but it's more about the fact that there are feelings in there, and when the feelings come through, right, and intentions are being made, the other party, right, if they're a mature person and there's somebody who doesn't want to play you, they're gonna be like, hey, look, I'm starting to see some behaviors looking a bit, and I know I can start for your intentions before it gets to a place where I don't think it needs to go to. I want to let you know, listen, I'm just not there. Now, a lot of us probably won't do that because we're going to get some benefits from the situation. And we're happy to take the benefits. And then we're going to happily turn around and tell you, listen, but I didn't say I want a relationship with you. This is what we call the gray area. So, of course, now she can turn around and say she didn't want a relationship. But, baby, by all means, don't pretend as if you didn't know that man was coming after you. Let's not pretend. That guy is so bait with it, and not in a good way either, right? Simpish in a way, right? That it's obvious that he's wanting that. So at that point, he's messed up. Yes, he's played it. He's played his hand incorrectly, and he has to be accountable for his own life. That's why I don't like that chat about we cost the relationship, own cost the relationship. You cost yourself the relationship, my brother. We ain't got nothing to do with that. And that lack of accountability for me is problematic on Laron's perspective again, but. In amongst that, if she pretends as if she didn't know what was going on, I don't know anyone else who's nuzzling there. I'm not nuzzling your neck, Jay. I'm not nuzzling your neck, Penny. And if I do nuzzle on your neck, you should know my intention at that point. I'm either trying to get some sex or I'm trying to be in a relationship with you and I'm liking you. At that point, you then got to tell me that, okay, I'm not feeling the boy like that. But if you keep allowing me to play in that space, yes, now you're starting to play because you may not necessarily feel me that particular way. Now, maybe she was waiting to see if her feelings would change. Maybe she was actually trying to see if she can make a relationship work. Right? But when you come on the screen and say, hell no, we never had a relationship, that tells me you were never in that situation in the first place because you ain't even got no respect for the person. You know what I mean? Yeah. Go for Jay.
I'm hearing what you're saying. Okay, so we're going to go back to my friend that's of 10 years. That's no longer my friend of 10 years. Okay. It was a similar situation of where they wanted to talk to me. I have told them. Now, I told them, I even to the point of showing them, introducing them to current relationships that I was in at the time or whatever, trying to show there is a friendship. This is all we have. This is all we're going to be. Some people's minds work in a particular way is, I still have a chance. You remember the movie Dumb and Dumber? When she told him, it ain't a million and something chance that you're going to, he said, oh, so I still have a chance. Some people's mind work in that same particular way. Now, I'm not going to say, because I said she goes where the money resides or whatever and stuff like that. I'm going to put it like that. I'm not going to say that didn't cloud her decision on taking him back or entertaining him or whatever it is that may let them all the way up until recently, as he put it. Okay. But I can also see where it is, I'm still not actually in a relationship with you, though I'm entertaining you. You are carrying on this thing as if it's more. So you're doing relationship benefits. As they tell us, don't be giving the man relationship wifey benefits when we're not his wife. He's doing relationship benefits, but not in the relationship with her. You know what I'm saying? And this is hypothetical. I don't know, allegedly, because I really don't know the ins and outs of this. This is just a perspective that I'm seeing from this. He can be buying her all these things and she can be like, hey, you still in the friend zone. Once you give me a gift by court law, it's a gift. You can't ask me to take it back or nothing like this and stuff like that. It is a gift. You have gifted me this thing at the end of the day. It is like, oh, it's Christmas time. Remember, never mind. I can't say what I was going to say. But if you're doing certain favors around holidays, birthdays, this, that, and the third, what am I supposed to do? I'm taking it as a friend. Now, if these said gifts are coming around at these type of times, what am I supposed to, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell her not to take it from her. Now, if she is on the background in the text messages again, or on the phone telling him, hey, Laron, you know, we going to be this, that, and the third. I'm with y'all. She's playing the heck out of him because she just wants something at the end of the day because she don't want this man. My biggest problem really with Maya is none of the gift parts, not if she's using him for this, that, and the third. If you're saying You want peace. Peace is over everything. You left William for your peace. You've seen all of this about this man. This is where I have the biggest issue with Maya. You've seen all of this about this man. If you have given him the second, third, fourth time to sit here and all these months continue to play it in your face, that's what I have the problem with. Because you were sat there and told this man, I have been down this road before, I know where it leads, and you still walking down this road with him again. So I don't care if it's for money, if it's for to hang out with clubs, if it's for him to introduce you to somebody down the line. You see where that got these people that's messing around with Diddy, you know what I'm saying? Allegedly. You see where that got them. Some people is not going to lead you to the promised land. If they are giving you a hard time to get what you want, it is not God's intention for you to be with that person. You should have left them alone in the first place. God was giving you the whole sign when he sat here and had this man do whatever he did at this club, storm out, whether he said the B word or not, but he stormed out. He got an attitude and left y'all at the club. That was your sign right there. Leave it alone. When he walked away from you in this picnic, that was your second sign for you to leave it alone. When he sat there and devised this whole thing with William, technically that was your first sign. Okay, you should have paid attention then. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you just don't see the first one, but that was another sign. There was so many signs for Maya to just leave it the F alone. And so if literally we get on this reunion and she take him back, if we sit there and have these interviews that she entertained him some more after the show, baby girl, that's all on you. And that's all on you. You entertain the circus, okay? At this point, you a part of it. I don't know what you want me to do. I don't know what you want me to do. That's where I can hold her accountable, coach, or whatever and stuff like that. The playing thing, that's an issue. That's a ticky tack thing, because if I say she's playing him, then he at the same time is playing her, because both people, when you enter an arrangement with somebody, both of y'all using each other at the end of the day for something, one thing or the other. Now, is it going to be equal benefits? Are we going to invest in each other and using things? Sometimes it happens and sometimes it don't. Somebody gets the one up, sometimes somebody don't. It is what it is. But with her thing, she told us that she want her peace, and she didn't prioritize that over everything else. That's where I'm gonna hold her accountable, because that's where I would tell my homegirl, like, I don't want to hear no more about this damn relationship. I'm gonna tell you now, don't call me about this damn relationship, because you're gonna run back to this nigga in about a week or two. So call somebody else. And that's just flat out.
And Laron is the opposite of peace. That guy is chaos. He does not want peace. He wants trouble. Like, he literally loves chaos. Yeah. I don't know where she thought she'll find peace in him.
And she ain't gonna find peace in the club either. So I think listen,
Ooh,
at the end of the day,
can a girl have a good time? What's that about?
She also don't even think about getting away with it.
What's that about? She just want to have a
Gotcha
good
number.
time, a kiki moment.
no, I think Laron is guilty of assigning himself the club playboy type dude, and he can't shake it. That's all she sees him as, the good time guy that's gonna go out to the bar, spend some money, and buy drinks. She don't see him as a romantic connection, and that's why I think he's frustrated. He's probably mad at himself. He's definitely mad about seeming like he's being taken for a ride, but he's going along for the ride. Like, the moment she told him on the show that she's not feeling him no more, that was his cue to get the message and move on. If he gets baddies and he gets bees and all these other different things that he says he gets, that would have been the cue to leave. But the fact that he decided to keep on buying Drake tickets, concert tickets, hanging out, birthdays, Valentine's, all the other things that he says he did, I don't believe there was any exchange. I don't think there was any arrangement. I don't think there was any reciprocity. I think he was trying to win her over, but it didn't work. So yeah, he has a right to be mad at himself for putting himself in that situation in the first place.
I agree with that, and I can't wait to drop a video about that, because there's a lot to talk about that you play yourself with this thing. When you try to buy somebody, you do have to be accountable. Like, You know, I talk about dark arts, but you know, I also talk about accountability on your side if you get played. You know what I mean? But I do think, you know, Maya also too is very clever. You know, you have to know how to play the game, and I'm not mad at it. Do you know what I'm saying? I always support dark artists in this game. You know what I mean? Until it gets diabolical. When it gets diabolical, I ain't with it. You know what I'm saying? When we're pulling out roses out of a rose petal pit, yeah, I'm not with that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not with that. Especially when you got FBI brothers and stuff like that. I'm not with it. That's people's phone getting hacked. We know how that got hacked now. But let me be kind, because he might try and attack this. But you know what? The Lord is on my side. Try me. No, don't try me. Don't try me. The Lord said I shouldn't test the Lord. Let's move it, because we've been here for a little while. We've still got people. Yes, Sean.
Just real quick. So
Go for
I
it,
do
Cap.
want to have a vulnerable moment. You know, every season, if you guys know, I always put my little. I pack up I keep my cape in my drawer, and I pull it out and I put it on for somebody. So, you know, there was Mercedes. We don't need to go down the list, okay? Listen, I had several capes that I use. So I do, honestly, I got a little piece of a cape for Maya. You know, I do. I got a little piece of cape for her. My sources tell me she will be interviewing with you. I want to hear baby girl's side, because I'm a little entrenched, you know, but I want to hear her side, because my little piece of cape tells me there's some truth somewhere in the middle. Now, I'm not saying she's just an innocent person and everything. Laron is the villain in the story and she was just an innocent damsel in distress. No, everybody has their role. But my little cape tells me we're going to get a little more context, because Laron has just been bumping his gums and telling all the story. And I want to hear her side. I want to hear how long this relationship did take, you know, what was the real context? What were her thoughts? What's her insight? Get to know a little bit of her, you know? So that's what I wanted to just put out there.
Not a problem at all, sir. We appreciate you. Candid. It's been a great conversation. Obviously, quickly, we've got Justin and Mika. I want to get your thoughts on that. We're going to round this up real quick. Before I do, actually, sorry, I haven't read out a super chat. Phil says, Laron is not right. However, men get called to the carpet for playing women, so Maya needs to be held accountable for playing with his feelings. Shout out to Phil, as always supporting the channel. And we appreciate your comments as well. Just to reset the room, we have 1,030 people on this live. I'm guessing because none of us got work on the Monday, so we appreciate y'all for sticking with us. But you know, we like to put out some great content for you guys to always learn and appreciate the great diverse panel who are intelligent, smart, you know, beautiful, handsome, delectable. You know what I mean? I just wanted to see who's gonna respond. Yeah. But you know, we like to put out some great content. So listen, stick with us. If you haven't sign up for the membership, make sure you are signed up to the membership so you get to be able to comment and join in a lot of the fun coming up as well. There's a lot of carnage. We've got a new show we're doing at the moment. Was it I'll be saying, was it Marvin's Vineyard or Martha's Vineyard? Okay, so it's Martha's Vineyard. I said Marvin again, but it's Martha's Vineyard, and we're doing that as well. So joint between myself and Jay, some great content there as well. So watch out for those lives as well. Okay, cool. Justin and Mika, talk to me. What were you saying about Justin and Mika? Do you guys have some different thoughts? I want to know what you guys think about this situation. You know what I mean? The silence is deafening.
If they love it, I like it. Hell, if they like it, I love it. I mean, it's I've been saying the same thing the last few weeks. It's a situationship that is going right for now. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? She done came back here this week. The girl stayed all season long swiping people away, talking about, I don't want no more kids. Now it's a possible. Okay. I mean, I told y'all, sometimes for the right man, people will change their responses. Is Justin the right man? He's the right now. He's Mr. Right Now. So that's what I'm gonna give him. And this man want his space. I don't know. I mean, even the friend talking about, look, you got to know, you got to give him 6 to 8 business days of recovery time after spending with you. I don't know. Some people, I got a friend that's technically like this. After she spent a day with us, she's in recovery for some odd reason. You know what I'm saying? From people. You know, I don't think we that bad. I don't know, but maybe we But she just don't like being around people that much. So I don't know if he's just that antisocial, that introverted, that he needs this much space. So we'll see. I can't give him too much. I don't know. It looks good. At least we got a couple at the bridge, or we had two, but this is the most promising couple of them all. You know what I'm saying? I can't put too much into Patrice and Zoe. So it's at least more promising. I seen some real kisses going on at least, you know what I'm saying? So a couple of things might have been happening, transpiring off screen. I really don't know, don't care. But if it works for them for now, it's great.
I think what worries me is the standard has been so low this season that we are more excited for Mika and him. And I think that just shows that the quality of maybe couples of the people weren't that great, because it's quite clear that he's being very honest that he's probably he's not into her as much as she is, even though he's coming across as nice. He's really not into her, because coming with a lot of blockages of saying, I need 3 to 4 hours before I can talk to you, that's a lot from a guy. I think he's already telling you that I just don't like you enough to talk to you or engage with you. And I think where she goes wrong is saying that she possibly will have a child with him. If he doesn't respond the way she wants, she'll resent him, because her first initial position was, I don't want children. So this idea of doing it for you is a lot of pressure. So she's going to put a lot of pressure on him anyways, because she's going to expect a lot more from him. And this is where she needs to be careful. She better wrap up, because God forbid she gets a child. Since he doesn't want to talk 3 to 4 hours, she needs to buy milk. Where's she going to find him? Where he doesn't want to pick up the calls, because he needs his alone time, but he has a kid. You see what I'm saying? So it's very dangerous. And I hope and the fact that she's also having to prop him up by saying, trust me, don't be in your head. Like, she's doing a lot of work, and it looks like she's not, but it's subtle. She's more into him than he is. And he's a nice guy. I think there's an attraction and a chemistry. Who wouldn't? And every time he talks about her, it's about her body, which it's amazing. She worked hard for it, but it's telling. Even when he's talking to the brother, like, oh, he just watch out for her body, watch out for. Like, I think, yeah, that's telling. He never talked about her personality. And whenever she also responded, he was like, yeah, this is how she is. She's always going to be on top of you. And he never said it in a way that was positive. It was more that be aware that she's always going to call you out. I don't think he likes that about her as well. Yeah, so I think he's attracted to her, and he said it. I think he's sexually attracted to her, and I think the chemistry is there. But I don't think there's a long-term relationship there where they can maintain long-term. I don't think they're a good fit, in my opinion, which is unfortunate.
Hearing you loud and clear on that. Okay. All right. Any other thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I really do like the energy that they have. I like the energy. I like her smiling. I like her letting down her walls. Similar to what Penny just said, I'm just not 100% sold yet. Like, I haven't heard enough from Justin to make me think he's truly really invested in a long-term relation. Even when he sat down with his brother said to him, like, you sure you're ready for this? Which means that's somebody that knows him very, very well. So for him to ask that question means there could be some level of doubt based on how he's operated in the past. Doesn't mean he can't change, but it sounds like that's still a question mark. And I just want to see more from Justin in that he's serious. And I don't know that yet. It was nice to hear him say he thinks it's going to be love, or he sees that. And I think that's when we saw Mika's wall kind of come down and then go back up, because she was like, oh, I don't know if I would say that. But then as she started to open up and talk about her feelings, they seem deep. And I think she likes him. Now, where it's going to go, will she really have kids? I don't know. So I think we need to I think they just need that moment to sit with each other and really make sure it's going to be serious. But so far, I like what I see. I love that she smiles. When she opens up and smiles, I think it's a good thing. And I think, you know, having somebody solid in your life keeps you focused on the right things. So hopefully they work out, but I don't know yet. I don't know if it's going to be a long haul.
Appreciate it. Let's shift it because listen, we've gone past our time. So, the last couple we're going to talk about obviously is a Patrice and Alonso. I know. Patrice and Alonso. The way Sean's shaking his head is telling me all I need to know. What's going on? Patrice and Alonso, diabolical behaviors, or understandably, can we understand it? Penny, why are you looking at that for?
What's going on? What's honestly going on there? What is going on? I'm sorry, I have a cold. Miss Patrice. She's a slick one, honey. She played the game well. We need to learn from Patrice. The way she operated in this whole season, I think she's the biggest player of all of Ready to Love. This woman maneuvered swiftly with a smooth character, but she was playing chess and not checkers. People say it. I think she was very attracted to this guy, but she clearly knew that there was nothing long term. I mean, even all the questions with the friend, even the friend was uncomfortable with some of those questions that were being asked about. So what's the plan? And he was talking about, I haven't put out pictures because I just don't want to create a home yet. Excuse me, sir? I mean, she didn't even believe that answer herself in that moment. But I was so fascinated by the fact that she didn't choose Chaz because of chemistry. She knew that as well. Like, she's the one who inserted herself into the whole equation and then used that as a reason for it not to have worked. I was like, baby, what were you trying to do? Were you just trying to power play? There's something there about power for her that she plays really well with men. I think she likes the control. And for me, Alonso is an easy target because he's very nice. So she's in control of that whole relationship. And I think she enjoyed dominating or playing Chaz a little bit and just leaving him at, wanting her. I think she really enjoyed that because she knew that there was never chemistry. He never wanted you. You put yourself in the equation. And then you're like, oh, you're a lovely man. You have everything. But unfortunately, because there's no connection, I don't see it. I'm going to leave. She enjoyed that moment. She really likes to dominate, man. And she only chose this guy because she thought she was going to control him. But obviously, what we're seeing from the clip from the reunion, he played because he's a boy. What do boys do? They play. So I think Sis was really surprised. But Patrice, yeah, I think for her it's a power play. And I think she was just sexually attracted to the guy. She's just having a good time at this moment in her life. She's doing a Stella got her groove back moment. I don't think it was as deep and serious for her. I just don't see it. Because you can't say you want a solid man and then go for a guy who doesn't have a plan. It doesn't make sense. And then you introduce Chaz to your mom in a different way. This is the type of man you'd want, who's really smart. But then you're going for butterflies. You gotta know what you want, especially at her age after being married twice. And the way that she also manages, like she's a very good at, she's a comedian. Like when she's with Chaz, she'll dress differently. She was covered up, her tattoos were covered when she met up with her brother. She knows how to, she's a comedian in wherever she's at. That's why she's always like, yeah. And then when she's with Alonso, she dresses more young. She lets her tattoos out. It's just those small, subtle things that she does. Yeah, I think she just got somebody who was more into her. She was lucky in that way. And she used him the whole way. This is where women use men. They're just more sleek. And it looks much more pretty. But she used that guy, which is so sad.
Hey, this whole situation, it's just really, I mean, look, the way Alonso was sitting by himself at that barbecue while Patrice was all up in, Chaz's face, sitting up next to Vanessa talking about sister wives. Patrice, do better, because at the end of the day, you did all of that, and then you're gonna still wind up choosing Alonzo after you done played in his face. And from the reunion, it looks like she might have miscalculated. She too might have been better off choosing herself, because Alonzo said, "You gonna have me running around." Alonzo, he did it right. Because if it's true, he did it right. Because this is how you don't go off looking like a simp. Because he said, "Patrice, you gonna have me looking down bad. I'm doing museum dates, shutting down museums. I'm being romantic. Your brother's calling me goofy. You know, I'm enduring a lot. You up here praying in closets with Chaz, leaving me to myself. You leaving me at the park bench, swinging my legs, while you up in here cheesing and grinning and skinning with Chaz. And then you gonna say you choose me? Okay, choose me. I choose you too, boo. But guess what? I'm gonna do it in the real world. You did it on TV. I'm gonna do it in the real world. Let's talk about it. Now, I don't think it's right. You know, I'm just saying that's kind of what it looks like. It's not what it looks like. You get what you get and you don't pitch a fit, because Patrice did a whole lot of playing in that process. And hey, I get it. I understand. Chaz's brother told us, isn't this a process where multiple people are dating and getting to know each other? So we understand that that's what was happening. But Patrice, baby girl, you were scrounging up at the 9th hour, picking up people at the finish line to try to close deals. That was not good. That just didn't look good. And at this very end, at the end, when we about to get to the bridge in a couple of days, you up here still smiling in Chaz's face, trying to assess whether you get butterflies or not. Then you try to come back to me? Yeah, I'm not with it. So she got what she got and he got what he got. I just hope they can be, you know, they can end amicably and nobody got to be tussling and fussing and stealing anybody's bonnets. So that's what I think.
I rest my case.
Wow. Well, I mean, listen. Anyone else got any thoughts before we wrap it up? The way you laughing is killing me.
No, I agree with everything that Sean said.
Oh, see, I thought you was gone, baby.
Oh no, I'm here.
Sorry.
Me too.
I was in the back, but I do think that maybe Patrice was doing dark arts to help Vanessa. Is that a possibility? Was she trying to help Vanessa?
Patrice was trying to win, baby.
She took one for the team.
But then outside of that, then she gonna be on top 5 right along with Chaz, because Patrice was a whole fool, and I don't know. A fool is what Patrice was. I don't get it. She got
I mean, if I have to choose my player for the season, she came, she saw, she conquered. She gets the MVP of the season, okay? If we have to go with the player award, it would be Patrice, because she came, she took Chaz all the way to the bridge, made him say, "I choose us." And she said, "I actually don't feel no spark between us." That means she's, as y'all was saying earlier, down there, okay, when it comes to Chaz, all right? She would rather go for the unstable studio apartment living Alonzo than Chaz and Nola and all the finances in the house and everything and stuff like that. So I'm going to go with C-Way's possibility. After everything Sean says on the logical side, I'm going to go with the C-Way thing, is that she did it for the girls' team. She brought home the gold.
But she didn't. This is a team full. This is a season full of
she did it. If I gotta go players, you married now. You married now, and you out the game. You know what I'm saying. But this is the player world. This you out the game. C-Way, you out the game. You on the bench. You married.
What did she win?
She won the gold prize of playing Chaz and made him take his own flower out the. see, he took a flower out of her bouquet this time and didn't give her that one.
But
he's trying to revive the flower.
You know why that fell short though, Jay? You know why that only reason why that would have ate but for, let me hit y'all with a but for. That would have ate but for Chaz giving an F. Chaz didn't want Patrice either. He over here just
Weird. Nah, I don't give a damn what he wanted. He got on that bridge and said, "I choose us." So therefore, he gonna choose.
I give her a small W. I give her a small W, but it ain't no big one. It ain't no capitalized.
You know, we know these people. Listen, these people don't get no money at the end of the day, so they got to take a win as a win, baby.
LaRon told us they got money. They get
$3,000
or something like that. Whatever he told us.
All right. Well, you know, she got her little change. She got her little gas money and stuff, and got to you know, bring it home. I mean, if she did it for Vanessa, she ride out. She did it for the homie.
Well, next week the preview shows that the prize she chose, man, didn't work out too well from what she was saying about what Alonso did.
JR, neither price she chose was gonna work out.
It was all about to go down here.
It didn't work out, man.
What print are you talking about? What print? What
Didn't
print
work out. On the couch, she looked pretty pissed and devastated about what he apparently was doing after the fact. So she still chose bad.
Well, she would have known that she was choosing bad if she was focusing on him instead of trying to add to Chaz's pool. If she would have actually focused on the connection she had, she probably would have figured that out.
She would have known she was choosing bad if she wasn't playing Captain Saver to everybody and being a friend in need when, you know, everybody's
down to the closet.
Yeah,
she's trying to get trapped in the closet with Chaz for no reason.
Because she only chose Alonso in the first place when everybody else didn't want him. So, you know, there's that. So
and also
it is what it is.
We don't know if Alonso used his level of petty to get back at her for making him sit back and watch her get connected to Chaz. And
I actually don't put that past him because
I wouldn't put past him.
He was dropping nuggets like the last couple of episodes. He was basically indicating that, like, you think I'm a goofy. But then he kind of let it go. This could have been the biggest dark arts could have came from Alonso.
Not you changing your stance from last night when you say you didn't see it, Seaway.
There you go.
Yes, I didn't see.
You said when we kept saying that you didn't see Alonso playing her from the thing or whatever and stuff, him being out here, and me and Elle said was like, yeah, no, we seen it.
Oh, I didn't hear y'all say that.
He told her, because you don't remember in the house, he said to her, I felt like an outsider. And I told y'all, she gaslighted him last week. She gaslighted him when he said that. He said, I felt like, you know, I was the odd man out in so many words. And she was like, no, don't feel that way. If it was you, I would have done the same thing. And she just dismissed his feelings. So he was like, boom, mental note, I got you. You know, I got you.
Trust him,
and
believe that.
Now I'm going to ignore you. Because once you choose me, I'll choose you because I still like you. But guess what? Don't feel that way. I'm just doing me.
Wait. Patrice said, F5, I hit your battleship. Sunk on Chaz. Alonso said, G17, I take out your ship too. I didn't.
Said, gotcha.
Alonso came back and took one for he got it back for Chaz. No worries, Chaz. He got your back. Alley-oop.
Literally finished her. She looked like she was in deep in that reunion too. The poor girl. She really put her heart into everything. But I can't lie to you. Yeah, I probably would have done the same thing. Knowing that you switched the way she switched last minute, and he didn't even want you, which means you switched unnecessarily. You trying to be violent to me. So yeah, you go and get this work.
This smells of a Kojo. This is Kojo 101. Actually,
it really is. I can't lie to you.
You have to jump all over this theory because this is really you for real.
Because you ain't gonna do that to me.
But I'm just wondering, did Chaz remix that Rose scene because he was awfully nice to Patrice? You know, everything was about the one rose, you know. So I'm gonna retain this one rose and I'm gonna tend to this one rose in the hopes that you come back around to me. What? First of all, bro, once you cut a rose, it's not like you can plant it and it's gonna grow. It's gonna die, be petrified, just like that last rose you gave Vanessa. So once the rose is out the bouquet, it's a done dizzle. My nizzle.
He's petrifying it for the next person to come. and Sean, listen, he took Corey's 895 class on paste and copy. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what he's been doing all season.
Chad's gonna pop up with a potpourri business because you got all these flowers that he's holding on to, re-preparing, petrifying. Bro,
well,
cut
y'all,
the
he
crap.
done gave his petrified rose to that lady of medium limited color, and I think he good. So we ain't gotta worry about it.
She like the same complexion as UC way. What the hell is she?
Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about the one of medium limited color. Y'all know who I'm talking about?
Oh, his current. Okay, yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave
Yeah,
that.
I'm like, what you talking about? Like, we heard not to take.
I thought you were talking about Vanessa. I thought you were talking
Yeah,
about
I was
Vanessa.
all confused. You know, Seaway gonna concoct a story and pull something together at the last second. Yeah.
Y'all don't worry about his rose. Another lady got that rose. She good.
I hope he's not recycling those roses based on all the money he proclaims to have.
Well,
he need to get them forever roses. That's what he need to be given. If he was serious about Patrice,
mine have last for 2 years. I got the same forever roses from that.
Yeah, look at that, Jay. Look at that, and you got the gold dip rose. Look at that's next level right there, baby girl.
Was that from Chaz by any chance? Was that from Chaz?
I hope whoever gave that to you
that
can
from
claim
Chaz?
you.
Oh no, this is a real petrified rose. Okay, this is how they supposed to come. Okay.
Okay.
Petrified.
What makes it petrified? What does that mean? Is it dipped in something or?
No, it's supposed to be like shocked. It's basically shocked into existence or whatever. But I don't know what made his dead. His was dead. Okay, like his was dead at this point. This is actual rose petals that are like dipped into something to make it last forever.
To preserve it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know what Chaz had going on. He was just breathing on that rose over there.
I'm sick and tired. All right, listen, Sean. You gotta do what you gotta do, Deacon.
I can't even speak.
Okay.
Oh, you're allowing me, so I guess I'm out of purgatory now to be able to render.
You was always out of purgatory,
sir. You petty like Laron. Not you petty.
Listen, it creeps up every now. I told Jay I don't really have a petty gene, but like I'm a Scorpio, so it's like when you get me, I gotta get you.
Yeah, sting back. I'm not mad at you.
LeBron is a Scorpio.
As you should.
LeBron's a
Trying to get a
Scorpio.
little one off, it's nothing too serious, but I just gotta warn you,
To all you Scorpios outside of my baby, okay? LeBron's a Scorpio. Diddy is a Scorpio.
Those are November Scorpios, please.
Don't put them. They male Scorpios, so y'all stay grouped together.
November, October Scorpios.
I have to separate them from my daughter. Okay.
Man, this November Scorpios are very, very petty. They're extremely petty. I'm not gonna lie to y'all.
Shoot.
You teetering, Shy. You not that far away from November.
2 days, but hey, it's still 2 days. It's 48 hours. That was what Mercury's moon and a sunrise.
It's not a full 48. What time on the 30th was you born?
In the morning.
That was.
No, seriously, because the next day is Halloween, and my mother was like, "I'm not giving birth to a baby on Halloween." So she was like, she was in labor with me for like 2 days almost. She was like, "No, it ends here."
Now she gonna put you down. She's like, get
Get behind me.
She said she prayed to God, and she also said, after this, I'm never doing it again, and that's why I'm an only child today.
Damn. All right, Deacon, take us away, man.
Well, listen, guys, we had a good time tonight. I think we learned a few lessons. I'm looking forward to the reunion. It looks spicy. But I think the lessons we learned is, one, be honest and be true to your intentions. And if you don't want somebody, don't talk to somebody. It's not nothing new, but I think we need to say it over and over and over again. Because unfortunately, what can happen is when you entertain the wrong person, when you let the wrong person into your space, into your life, they can wreak havoc, right? You got to read the warning signs. We've been saying this the last few weeks. when you drive on the road, look at the warning signs, right? If it's a red light, that means stop. If it's a stop sign, that means stop. If it says danger, that means do not go in that direction. You don't stop, you don't, wait a few seconds and keep going in that direction. When we ignore warning signs, this is what happens. On the other hand, nobody owes you anything, right? So we also have to, understand that people are not transactional. If you give somebody something, doesn't mean that you're going to get what you want in return. And if you're looking for an agreement, you need to have a meeting of the minds, right? For our legal people out there, a contract requires a meeting of the minds. If you don't have a meeting of the minds, then you have one agenda, the other person has another. You're never going to meet in the middle. So have an agreement, be on the same page for your relationships. And if it doesn't work out, please end in grace. If you started off liking them, you can end off liking them, just not liking them for the relationship. End it in grace. Let's be mature. Let's love one another. Less more love, less hate. Back to you, Coach.
Beautiful, beautiful. All right, listen, audience, thank you so much. Y'all came out 1,100 strong. We appreciated you guys rolling with us, enjoying the great content. We'll be back again Monday where we do our Christian content. So if you're around for that, jump in for that. We have myself and Jay going live. I think you're gonna stick to Tuesday, Jay, for the Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, we're gonna stick to Tuesday.
Yeah, so we'll have on Tuesdays our Martha's Vineyard, and then later on that Tuesday, I believe I got Alonzo. He agreed, so he's going to do an interview as well. I think he wants to do a part 1 and part 2. So listen, hey, I said whatever you feel like, my brother. You want to tell your truth, tell your truth. I ain't gonna be mad at it. And so we're gonna have him on Tuesday night. I think around about 5:30 EST, I think it is, or something like that. And so yeah, we've got that going on as well, and then we'll see for next and then the rest of the week we'll see what's going on. I'm trying to get some things organized for you guys, some other content as well, so that you guys can enjoy. So look out for that. But yeah, listen, it's been a great time. Thank you for those who joined the membership. We'll be back again, like I said, Monday night for the Christian content. Make sure they're Tuesday night for Martha's Vineyard, which I'm loving. Can't lie to you. Can't wait to see episode 2. Yeah, we will be back next Saturday for Ready to Love once more again. The reunion. Okay. All right. So we appreciate y'all.
And happy Resurrection Day. It's Easter.
Yes, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Happy Resurrection Day indeedy. The good Lord has risen. Okay, so if you're feeling a little bit down, just know the good Lord has died for your sins. Okay, all right. Get you some Jesus on this good Sunday. All right, people. Appreciate y'all. Stay locked. Stay loaded. We'll see you soon. What are you gonna say, Jay?
I'm just saying to you, you misbehave every chance you get. But it's also not Easter here yet. I still got time.
No worries at all. Listen, I'm on my best behavior nowadays, okay? I'm a changed man, okay? I see the anointing and the glow in the ladies. I want you to continue that glow, okay? All right? We appreciate you. Yes, squint at me, Penny. We appreciate you. Love and peace and hope, guys. We'll see you again soon.